Yeah, this is case number 288 on the calendar in the matter of Schoenberg versus Meyer. Parties have been sworn in. You may be seated. Folks, have a seat, please.
Is it Dr. Schoenberg?
Yes.
Are you a physician?
Yes.
Dr. Schoenberg, I read in your complaint that you purchased some turtles from the defendant's pet shop.
Correct.
You purchased them in order to create a habitat for them in your home. I don't know how large they were, but within a relatively short period of time, they got sick and died. You believe that Mr. Meyer is responsible for not only the turtles, but also for the substantial veterinary bills that you had in order to try to treat them for an illness that you say they had when you got them from him. Mr. Meyer says he offered you your money back when he found out that there was a problem, but he's certainly not responsible for these astronomical veterinary bills that were racked up as a result of your desire to treat the animals. How large were these turtles?
Between 4 and 5 inches, length of the shell.
And how much did you pay for them?
$17.99 each.
Had you ever had turtles before?
Yes.
What happened to them?
I had them when I was about 10 years old, and I had caught them when I was at camp, and I kept them till I went to college, and then I gave them to the Turtleback Zoo, which was a nearby zoo where I lived in New Jersey.
And they survived?
Never had a problem, no illness, did beautifully.
Did you have had other pets other than turtles?
No.
Really?
Really.
Interesting. Tell me why.
I have a fascination with turtles for a few reasons. One, right now I find them inspiring because it helps me to slow down. They're very graceful in the water, but when they're on land, they're very slow and they just seem very pensive. And I find them very inspiring. They live over 50 years, typically, these turtles. So I think for children, they're nice in that sense that you can really get to know them. And they do have different personalities. They're not all the same. They do take on individual personalities.
Explain that to me.
Well, part of the way we name them is the way they behave. Some are more friendly, some are a little more aggressive. They each take on a little different way about them.
You know, I'm an animal lover, so I don't want you to take this as meaning any disrespect.
Sure.
Are they smart?
Well, I have my veterinarian to attest the fact that they're certainly not dogs or cats, but they do, and certainly...
I mean, there's a certain survival instinct that all animals have, so in that regard, they can survive. They look for water, they look for food, so okay, but...
They've been around a lot more than we have on this earth. Millions of years.
So have roaches.
That's true. Good. You got me there. But I really believe, and I'm sure if you ask most turtle lovers, they'll agree that they do take on different personalities, and they definitely do have a higher thought process, not as high as a dog, but higher than a roach.
I know that I'll probably get lots of mail about this because there are people that love every creature. In any event, when did you purchase the turtles?
May 27th, Memorial Day weekend, 2006.
Is that correct, sir?
Yes.
And how many turtles did you have in your shop?
8 or 9.
When had you gotten them?
About a week and a half prior to that.
From whom?
It's from a distributor. They're animal distributors. This one in particular was a reptile distributor.
When was the first sign that there was something untoward with the turtles?
Every day after work, I came home and fed them, so they were doing fine until June 5th. I built a large 8 by 12-foot enclosure for them outside, plenty of room to swim and sunbathe, which sunbathing is very important for them. And on June 5th, I went out to feed them, and I saw one of them convulsing in the water. So I immediately took that turtle out of the water, and I tried to find the other turtles, and at the time, I could only find one other. So I took the one that was convulsing plus that turtle, put him in a box, and I tried to call Mr. Meyer, but I could not get a hold of him. But I knew I had to do something quickly, because I know that turtles, if they get sick, it's something is critically wrong.
How do you know that?
Because I know they have a slow metabolism. It takes a while for them to show a problem. And I had them for 7 years, and they never showed any illness. So something like this obviously looked like, I can't mimic the motion, but it was an obvious convulsion.
Okay.
It looked like a seizure almost. And so I scrambled to try to find a veterinarian in my area who specialized in reptiles, or hopefully turtles. And fortunately, everybody who I called referred me over to Dr. Burgess's office. That's Dr. Burgess there.
Step up, sir. Dr. Burgess, June 5th, receive a call from Dr. Schoenberg, who ultimately brings over the 2 turtles to you. What do you find?
Well, he sounded pretty urgently concerned, so we had him come in right away. And both turtles had problems. What struck me, however, was the one that he was concerned about, which was Sammy, looked seriously ill. And this turtle, on physical exam, the thing that I noticed mostly was how extremely weak he was. And these are really feisty little turtles. They're not weak animals. And this kid was pretty much flat out. That's the biggest thing that concerned me right off the top. On closer inspection, I noticed something that the average observer probably wouldn't notice, and that was there were a bunch of discolored areas on the underside of the shell, which is typical of shell rot. The average observer might just think that's a normal color pattern because they have kind of blotchy colors anyway. But I was suspicious that it didn't look right, so I grabbed a small metal probe and was probing these areas, and they were soft. So I knew that there was infection dissolving away the underlying bone and shell. The two things you want to know about shell rot is, number one, it's usually easily treated. But it can, if it goes on long enough, get into the bloodstream, the bacteria can. Then they become septic, and then they'll go down quick. They'll convulse, all their organs are infected, and you can actually lose some of those. The second thing about shell rot is you almost never see it unless the turtles are housed in improper situations. In fact, 95% of all reptile cases we see are poor husbandry related. Crowding, dirty water, too cool of temperatures, not enough ultraviolet light. There's a lot of ways that the turtles can be stressed and their immune system falters. Then they become prone to infections from things that a normal turtle would resist.
And how long does that process generally take?
As advanced as this case was, that takes weeks at least to occur, sometimes months. But to dissolve bone and shell away like that to that extent takes a while. And again, on the surface, they were very unimpressive lesions, easily overlooked. In fact, Eric, who was babying these turtles, didn't notice the lesions either until I pointed them out to him. It just is something you have to kind of know to look for. Doing it for 20 years, I knew to look for it.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
You got about 10 turtles from the wholesaler?
That's correct.
Now, you're under oath, Mr. Mayer.
Yes.
How many of them survived?
Dr. Eric Schoenberg claims pet shop owner Robert Meyer is responsible for selling him 4 diseased turtles. Eric says 3 of his pets suffered an untimely death.
Now, let me ask you this question, Dr. Burgess. If you had seen these turtles, say, a week before, would they have shown similar signs?
Probably yes. As advanced as these were, there would have been lesions there a week earlier as well.
So they would have been visible to you, for instance, on the 28th of May.
Yes, they should have been.
Now, one of the turtles died when?
The sickest turtle, Sammy, died within 24 hours of us seeing it. I got it on antibiotics, but it just basically went down quick.
And the others?
He had a total of 4, one of which died at home. Of the other 2 that were alive after the first day, the second turtle died about 8 days after we started treating it. And again, this raised alarm bells because we have a high percentage of success rate even with advanced shell rot. And I knew he had them warm enough, he had them in good conditions, they should have been surviving. So we cultured the shell after the second one died and found out that they had 2 species of bacteria there, one of which was particularly difficult to treat. And we ended up having to do double antibiotic therapy for weeks to save the last one, and we actually did manage to save that one. We were using antibiotics by injection in all 4 legs because you can't inject the shell. And after weeks and weeks of double antibiotic injections, this turtle ended up, unfortunately, with severe damage to both front legs. So essentially, her right front leg is virtually useless. Her left front leg is partially paralyzed. So she's in need of special conditions just to pull herself out of the water. He had to build a ramp down in the water that's at a shallow angle because she can't pull herself out of the water to bask. She does have basically permanent damage, even though we healed the shell rot.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay.
So, Dr. Schoenberg, when did you finally contact Mr. Mayer, and what did he say when you contacted him?
June 14th was the day the second one died.
Okay.
So it was that day that I finally made contact with him.
How many calls did you make to him?
It was probably about 5. I have the exact phone records.
Did you speak to anyone?
I spoke with a young woman there, and they said he's not around. I'll have him call you. Never a return call.
When was the first time you got a message from him, Mr. Mayer?
It was before the 14th. It was probably the 12th or the 13th. I was probably busy, and I don't know why I didn't get the phone message before the 12th.
When you got it on the 12th, did you call him right back?
I think I probably waited until the 14th and to get a hold of him.
When you sell an animal at your pet shop, Mr. Mayer, do you instruct people, please take the pet to a vet, have it checked out? You know, you give a money-back guarantee if something is wrong within 24 hours or 48 hours. Is that what you do?
We state that we have a 7-day health guarantee, depending, it's 7 to 14, depending on the type of animal. In this particular case, for reptiles, it's 7 days that we guarantee the animal.
Do you have a piece of paper that says that?
No, I got nothing in writing about that.
I didn't give him anything in writing, but it's stated at the time of purchase.
Who states it?
The person selling the turtle. In that
Well,
case,
that's
it was
hearsay,
myself.
sir. What you're supposed to do is...
It was myself that sold the turtle to Mr. Schoenberg.
Did you tell him that there was a 7-day
Yes, I
health
did.
guarantee? You remember that?
Yes, I always say that. Whenever I sell an animal, I was the boss. I employed teenagers, therefore I had to be very consistent with what I did.
But you are not there all the time.
That's correct.
And if you're not there all the time, that means that one of your teenage employees will be selling animals.
That's correct. But by setting precedents and by showing example with myself in the way I do it, and
What you have to do is put it in writing, Mr. Mayer.
I do have something that's filled out when somebody purchases an animal. In this case, it wasn't done, but in most cases it is.
You have to be consistent and done, Mr. Mayer.
That's correct.
So when you purchase an animal, and if you're giving a 7-day guarantee, then what you have to do is say, You have 7 days. Take the animal to the vet, because that's where I'm going with my questions to the doctor, because he's already said that this situation would have presented itself had Mr. Schoenberg taken within 7 days the animals to a vet, had them checked out. He would have seen that there was something wrong with them. He would have had an option of returning them to you, and you would have given him his money back. Or if he chose to treat them, then the vet bill's on him. But if you're not told that you have that option of bringing it back, why aren't you responsible? And then you proceed, if this kind of situation, Mr. Mayor, comes from the wholesaler, not from you, but from the wholesaler, then you sue the wholesaler. While we're on that subject, you got about 10 turtles from the wholesaler?
That's correct.
Are you under oath, Mr. Mayor?
Yes.
How many of them survived?
After Mr. Schoenberg got in touch with me, I put a freeze on selling any of the turtles.
What did you do with them?
Well, I just stopped selling them until I
What
went back.
did you, Mr. Mayor, let's not mince words, sir.
Sure.
What I want to know is, what did you do with the other 6 turtles?
I had to close my store at the end of June, and so I adopted the rest of the turtles out, but all of them were alive.
All of them were alive when you
Yes.
adopted them out?
Yes.
Dr. Schoenberg, when you called Mr. Mayor and told him that this was a problem with your turtles, did he indicate to you any of the other turtles had a problem?
He didn't make any mention of the other animals. My wife felt like she wanted to adopt them and take care of them because she knew what was going to happen to them, because he indicated that his philosophy on animals, that is, if they become ill, he prefers euthanasia to treatment, even if the disease, as this one was, is completely treatable with antibiotics. This was not a terminal disease.
Mr. Schoenberg stated it incorrectly. What my philosophy on animals was that he stated that I should that euthanasia is the key. If it's deemed that it's more of a business decision in my case, that if the animal is going to cost $700 or $1,000 to fix, and it's a $17.99 turtle, I can't stay in business and do that. And so I would not want to, but have to euthanize the turtles.
Dr. Schoenberg, Mr. Mayor says that he got these pets about a week and a half before you purchased them. Your expert says that this particular kind of disease, to have advanced to this point, can sometimes take months. Is that right, sir?
Usually weeks, occasionally months, yeah.
Well, Dr. Burgess, let's step up for one more second, sir. I'm going to pin you down.
Okay.
Sometimes it can take months.
Yes.
And sometimes it can take weeks.
Yes.
Could it take 1 week?
Not as advanced as this was.
When you saw the 4th turtle, was it ill?
Yes.
And you could tell right away?
From the shell, yes.
But when you saw the first turtle that was so ill, you couldn't tell from the outside that there was a very severe strain of bacteria that required a different kind of antibiotic.
Not just at a glance, nobody can tell.
Dr. Schoenberg, you went to the pet store and saw the habitat where they were living.
Yes.
And I must assume that as an intelligent and medically trained person, you would not have purchased these turtles were the habitat conditions unclean, unsanitary, looking unhealthy. They looked fine to you.
They looked adequate to me.
No. Let's not play. They looked fine to you, or you would not have purchased them and then invested in the habitat. Come on, let's not play.
Absolutely right.
Okay. Now, I would assume that you could not tell when you took the turtles home, at least from the 27th of May, according to you, until June 5th, that there was anything wrong with these turtles.
Correct.
Why do you ascribe something more to Mr. Meyer?
I have records here from animal control that show that there was a lot going on in his pet store that I didn't know about. And if you would like to see those documents, I'd be happy to share them with you, that show the kind of conditions that were there that perhaps I didn't see that day. I just was focused on turtles, and I went right in.
I'm just interested in turtles.
Yes.
I'm not interested in whether he's a good husband, a bad father, a good son, a good nephew, whether he does other things. You saw the turtles.
Yes.
I mean, he didn't take the turtles out at night and put them in the toilet. He left them in the same conditions that you saw them in.
I don't know that,
which were
because
clean conditions. Well, he doesn't look like a nut. And nuts would have taken them out of a clean condition and put them in a dirty condition. For what purpose? That sounds ridiculous. So let's see what we have, Dr. Schoenberg. We have a medically trained man, buys the turtles, looks as if they're being kept and maintained in a perfectly adequate habitat. You don't see anything wrong with them. No signs of illness. According to you, they were playful and they were eating, appeared perfectly normal. So you are really asking him not to give you back the money for these turtles. You believe he is responsible for the veterinary bills, which were $2,200.
Actually, the veterinary bills were $1,400. The other amount of money is to get special housing for the turtle inside to take care of her since she's handicapped. Otherwise, I would have
Well,
housed
that's
her.
another decision that you made, Dr. Schoenberg. You made that decision. Certainly, if you were a Darwinist, you would have said maybe This little turtle, unfortunately, doesn't want to live for the next 50 years, having to pull herself out of the water because she's paralyzed in one leg and partially paralyzed in another. That's a decision that you made, and I can't fault you for that decision, but you can't visit that on Mr. Mayer. I mean, I'm an animal lover, and I would, quite frankly, love to look at Mr. Mayer and paint him as the devil if he sold animals that he knew were ill. But I guarantee you, Mr. Mayer is not an expert in turtles. Am I correct?
That's correct.
That's a very limited interest base. Dr. Burgess, what was your initial visit for the sick turtle?
It would have been probably 150 at most, I would think. And
150?
That was for two turtles.
And for the two turtles. And then he brought you a third one.
Yeah.
And a fourth one.
Fourth one had died on the premises. I never saw the fourth one.
You saw three. You saved one.
Yes.
Three died. Anything you want to say to me, Mr. Meyer?
I'm an animal lover myself, and I'm sorry for the turtles that have died, but in a business I can't control whether someone goes outside of my vision and treats an animal.
Mr. Mayor, if I had any inkling that you had prior knowledge that these turtles were ill when you sold them, my decision here would have been totally different. But I think that Dr. Schoenberg, with his medical expertise and his expertise in these particular kinds of reptiles, if he couldn't tell that there was anything wrong with them for at least 10 days, then I can't fault you. But you are responsible for the initial visits for the pets. That's $150 each. That's $300. And the cost of them are $54. Yes.
I'd like to say that I got these animal control records. There were 17 complaints. One of them was that he housed different reptiles together. So there's every indication that there was definitely animal neglect on his part, indicating that he was not treating the animals humanely, including reptiles. And now if you house reptiles, turtles with lizards, or mixing
Did you
them up.
see the turtles housed with lizards?
I didn't, but he could have done it when I wasn't there.
Well, Dr. Schoenberg, doesn't sound right to me. Doesn't sound like it's common sense that you have a habitat for lizards and you have a habitat for turtles. And after everybody leaves the store, you take the time to put them all together in an unsanitary condition. That doesn't make sense, Dr. Schoenberg.
The
Judgment for the
inspector,
plaintiff in the amount of $354. That's all. Thank you.
Now, this is case number 296 on the calendar in the matter of Allen versus Hampton.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Judge Parties have been sworn in, Your Honor, and may be seated. Ma'am, have a seat, please.
Miss Allen, many years ago, you and Mr. Hampton had a relationship and had a daughter. Is this your daughter?
This is Nicole.
Mr. Hampton was, according to your papers, not in her life for many years. He has had some trouble in his life in the past. You've been to prison.
Yes, ma'am.
But recently, he found your daughter on the internet.
Correct.
And they developed a relationship. According to you, you made a loan to him. He repaid that loan. And then shortly thereafter said he needed an additional loan. And because he had such a good credit history with you, and because he and your daughter were now involved in a father-daughter relationship, you loaned him an additional amount of money, $7,000. Did he make any payments on that $7,000?
He did, Your Honor. He actually made the first payment that was due.
And then he stopped making the payments?
He did.
You want to show me proof where you took the money from?
Yes.
And just for my own information, could you tell me why you put yourself in a financial bind to give him $7,000?
Well, I actually didn't have any cash money to give him. We were becoming friends, and I was in support of my daughter's relationship with him. He came with me with problems, and he had a lot on his plate.
Just 1 second. So you got $7,000. Where did you put this money?
I deposited in my credit union account.
Let me see it.
May I see that when you finish, Judge? Because that's news to me. I never
what?
that she took out $7,000 to loan to me. That's news to me.
Well, she did. On June 13th, $2,500, and on June 20th, $4,500.
Well, I'm not really sure of the amounts.
Well, tell me what amounts you acknowledge that she gave you, sir.
She gave me $2,000 one time, and she gave me about $3,000 another time, and then I gave her $1,000 for my daughter's deposit for the car. So
I don't care about your deposit for your daughter's car. I'm talking about in June of 2006. You have a cashier's check for the $4,500 that you gave him?
I do.
I'd like to see it, please,
It's
just
with
so we
the
get...
other papers I gave you.
It's in here?
And I'd like to see a copy of that because I'm not aware of that.
Right here, sir.
Right, ma'am, but it wasn't made out to me, right? She just wrote my name at the bottom. I mean, that doesn't mean that she gave the money to me. That doesn't, right? Is that what that's saying? Is that saying it was made out to me? I don't take out
Paid in
cash.
the order of James Hampton.
Oh, okay. Well, I guess it made out to me. But like I said, she had been giving me money. I'd been giving her money, so I really don't have record of that. But the money was given to me for the simple fact of that I was behind in some of my bills, but she never said I had to repay the money back. What happened was this whole case, why we're here today, is I had just been notified that I had a son that I hadn't seen in 14 years. Hadn't seen my daughter in 14 years. I got tired of being a deadbeat dad and went and took the necessary steps it took to reunite my family. What happened was, at that time, when Edith, like you said, why was she doing all these nice things? Edith was kind of, I guess, trying to rekindle the relationship and saying, here, James, here's some money. You don't have to really pay it back if you get the money. And that's cool, but I never really, want somebody to give me something for free. I told her, Edith, I'll pay you back if, if I come into some money. She said, don't worry about it. I understand that, you're going to therapy with your child. You've got lawyer fees. I understand that, I kind of lied to your daughter about us, about you being alive. I really was incarcerated, but she told my daughter I was dead. My daughter never got in touch with me through years of searching, 3 or 4 years. I finally tracked her down and took responsibility with my son. But what happened was my daughter took my son down, and my son, who I had got temporary custody, had a lot of problems, had a lot of mental, emotional problems. When she picked up my son, she took my son to Sacramento. I called him up. I said, hey, did you take his medicine? She said, no, her and Edith had been convinced my son didn't need medicine and everything. Well, when I talked to my son on the phone, he was, yeah, Dad, I'm going to beat you up. And he was really disturbed. I said, hey, we need to get that kid his medicine right away. So my daughter, and this is what really gets me, I got 2 adults that supposed to have good sense, and my son, who I can't really blame him because he's only 15-year-old. These 2 manipulated my son and tell him, I don't want to come back up to you, Daddy. You make me work too much. And they made allegations. And here's the kicker part, Judge. They take the kid and they take them back to the boys' home, which 9 months going to therapy, visits, picking them up. They go back to the boys' home with my son, who needs his medicine, and they tell the social service that I abused my kid, rush him over to the hospital, have him all checked out. Come to find out, I got the report right here from social service. There was no abuse to the kid, and they said that the police was coming to get me, and I better watch out. I finally told them, hey, I'm like John Gotti. I'm the Teflon Don. Because I wasn't worried about the allegations. I wasn't worried about them. You only worry about something when you do it, not when you don't do it. So social service called me up and said, Mr. Hampton, there's no problem with the allegations. They're not true. The problem is your son don't want to come back there, because these people are supposed to, if she don't have to love me no more, but she should have the respect that I am the father of her kid. And I can't believe that how they couldn't say, well, let me sleep on it maybe before we take the kid back. You don't take some kid because you think he did something and take him back to social. Now I have to start all over. I have to go and hire another attorney, and I have to get trust in my son. So this is what this lady's trying to do, manipulate. Only when she found out that I had another girlfriend and the relationship between me and her wouldn't happen again. I move on, Your Honor. Once the lady leaves me, keep it moving. I'll move on to the next one.
Miss Allen, I have a few questions for you.
Yes.
How old are you?
44.
Do you work?
Yes, I do.
Who do you work for?
Kaiser Permanente.
And how long have you worked for them?
10 years.
Okay. How many times have you been incarcerated?
None.
Never. Right?
Right.
Now, your daughter, Nicole, what does she do?
She's a medical assistant also at Kaiser.
She went to school?
She did.
Graduated?
Yes, she did.
And she's 24.
Correct.
Is she your only child?
No, I have another daughter who lives in Houston, goes to college.
Goes to college?
Right.
Well, Judge, can I say one?
I want to hear nothing. I let you speak. Correct?
Yes.
I let you speak. I'm trying to figure out, Mr. Hampton.
There are upstanding
Listen to
citizens,
me.
I admit.
Listen to me. I'm trying to figure out who's the nut. So I have to find out.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
Whatever allegations he's making, she didn't put those allegations in his
Why
head.
couldn't
Mr.
she?
Hampton, you're not listening to what I'm saying. Listening ears, sir.
And later today,
The reason why he's saying that he pushed him in the pool because Demetrius was in his way.
And how do you figure that's his mother's fault?
real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Edith Allen claims the father of her daughter, James Hampton, owes for a loan. James says Edith falsely accused him of child abuse.
Now, how old are you?
47.
And in the last 20 years, how many years have you been in prison?
Well, I haven't been in prison the last 15 years, but...
I thought you said to me that you got your act together in 1995.
Okay, my last conviction was in 91. I got out of prison in 95. So I've been out of prison for 11 years.
Yeah, it's not 15.
Before I committed a crime, it's been 15 years since I committed a crime. I had to do 4 years in prison, ma'am.
Well, that's not what I asked you.
Okay, it's been 11 years since I've been out of prison.
Okay. And prior to 1990, how many times were you in prison?
Your Honor, I mean...
Lots.
Lots of times.
All
You can
right,
say
so
all
let
that.
me- so let me
people
ask-
change. People change.
Great. But some people change for the better, and some people don't. So I wanted to find out if Miss Allen had gone downhill in the last 15 years, because let me try to put together in a package what you testified to. You testified that when you got out of jail in 1995, but it took you a lot longer to find your daughter Nicole.
Yes.
Because you didn't get out of jail and say, gee, I want to find out where my daughter Nicole is the second I'm out of jail, and I want to find out where this son is that I allegedly have, immediately. It took you a little time to get your act together, like a decade to get your act together. Well, you finally got your act together. You came into this woman's life. You hadn't been in her life in a quarter of a century, and she wanted to help you. She lent you money. You paid her back. She gave you more money, took out a loan from her credit union to give you more money, helped you with your son, helped you initially. You and your daughter are doing fine. She's even embraced your son, was not her child, and said to her daughter, you can bring him to our house. He's your half-brother. I want you, is that a fair statement, Nicole?
Yes, ma'am.
Want you to be involved with him, want you to, all of a sudden, you want me to believe that she turns on you for no reason. And your son, who is not a baby, we're not talking about a 3-year-old saying that you abused him. We're talking about a child who was 14?
Yes, ma'am.
14 years old saying, listen, whatever it is, I don't want to go back to live with my father. I'd rather go live in the group home where he took me from because of whatever allegations he's making against you. She didn't put those allegations in his
Why
head.
couldn't
Mr.
she?
Hampton, listen to me. You're not listening to what I'm saying. Listening ears, sir. I said she didn't put those allegations in your son's head. Now, he may have been hallucinating, but that's not her job. Her job is, if she has this minor in her home who is reporting abuse, she's not supposed to sleep on it. She has to call the authorities and say, this is what the child is reporting to me. You do an investigation. That doesn't relieve you of your debt. You owe her the money. She gave it to you in good faith, and you will repay her in good faith, Mr. Hampton. Judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $5,000. That's all.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
I think a lot of people, because you've been in trouble before, they think, oh, well, you're still a criminal.
I'm glad justice was served.
But people change, and people should allow people to change.
So far away from telling the truth.
And the lessons I've learned from the past is only going to make me a better citizen and a better person.
He's an abuser. He always has been.
My daughter won't accept that, maybe we can start fresh.
I want to move on with my life.
You're still saying you haven't been around in my life.
I could care less one way or the other if my father is involved in my life.
Let all that go and let's, build a relationship.
As long as I can continue to have a relationship with my brother, which I do.
I hope me, my son, and my daughter can all be in the same room together, opening up Christmas presents one day, and put all this in the past.
And now the next case.
All parties in the matter of La Bozetta versus Doracus. Step forward, please.
14-year-old Demetrius Labozetta and his mother Frances are suing his former friend, 14-year-old Alexander Doracus, and his mother Lydia. Demetrius claims Alexander pushed him in the pool and broke his cell phone.
How old are you, Alex?
I'm 14.
That's your brother?
Yep.
It's your twin brother?
Mm-hmm.
That would be yes.
Oh, yes.
And what's his name?
David.
What's his name?
Demetrius.
Dimitri, right?
Yes, ma'am.
How do you know him?
He went to my school.
I'd like you to keep your voice up.
He went to my school last year.
Was he a friend of yours?
Yes, ma'am.
And you liked him?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you like him?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you ever go to his house?
No, ma'am.
Did he ever come to your house?
Yes, ma'am.
How many times?
Quite a few times.
More than 5?
Yes.
Is that right?
Yes, ma'am.
More than 10?
Yes, ma'am.
How far do you live from each other?
20 minutes from now.
And how do you usually get to his house?
By bike or walking, ma'am.
Does he always tell you when he's coming over?
No, ma'am.
Did your mother ever tell you were not to allow him in your house?
Yes, ma'am.
When?
When she's not at work, ma'am.
No, when I'm
You when she is at work?
Oh, wait. Yeah, when she's at
When
work.
she is at work. But he does come over when she's at work.
Yes, ma'am.
You have other friends over there too when she's at work.
Yes, ma'am.
So you don't listen to her.
No, ma'am.
Do you lie to her and tell her that nobody was at the house when she goes to work?
Yes, ma'am.
Now, when you lie to her and tell her nobody was there, do you tell her so that you want her to believe you?
Yes, ma'am.
And do you believe him?
Absolutely not.
So you don't believe him?
No.
So you know he's lying?
Absolutely.
I just wanted to set the record straight, that we don't have angels over here.
Exactly.
Now, sometime in August of this year, according to you, Dimitri, you went over to Alex and David's house. His mother wasn't home. You were playing around, and somehow you got pushed in the pool, and you destroyed your cell phone and an electric game, and your mother wants the defendant, the mother, to pay for your cell phone and the game.
Yes, ma'am.
When did Alex tell you to come over to the house?
About the same day that I called him and asked him if I can come over.
And what did you used to do when you went over to Alex's house to play?
We used to just hang out in his room, listen to music, talk.
Nothing bad?
No, nothing bad. We used to stay
So
in
you
the
want to
house.
tell me what happened on, anybody have the date, August what?
Around the 29th, 30th.
All right, tell me what happened when you went over on the pool day.
Well,
look at me when you're talking.
Sorry, ma'am. Well, when I was going on to his house, I met them at a gas station with 2 other kids. We was there for a while, and then...
At the gas station or at his house?
At a gas station. And for a while, and then we went to his house.
All of you?
Yes, ma'am.
How many were there?
Alex, David, and 2 other boys.
So there were 5 of you all together?
Yes, ma'am.
Go ahead.
And we all was in his backyard because he didn't want anybody in the house because he didn't want nothing, like, destroyed or nothing.
Good idea, Alex.
I was going on the way in his house to go make a phone call.
What, but he told you not to go in the house?
I know that, ma'am, but it was too noisy and outside. I was going to go inside in his garage to make a phone call. And then I passed Alex, and all of a sudden he pushed me into the pool. And when I was in the pool, I rushed to get out of the pool and ran inside in the garage to dry off my stuff.
So you were playing around?
More or less, not really.
Yeah, right. I have things to do today. Let me hear you.
Your Honor, basically, why I'm here today is what I'm trying to teach my son is consequences. Like when you do something, you know, you have to suffer consequences if it's wrong or not, you know, and, you know, I brought it to the attention of the mom.
That's not the mother's fault.
But the reason why he's saying that he pushed him in the pool because Demetrius was in his way.
So what? They were playing. They were friends.
But why would he push him in the pool fully clothed with sneakers on? And
how do you figure that's his mother's fault?
I'm not saying that it's his mother's fault.
Well, you are saying that it's his
minor,
mother's fault.
It's his mother's responsibility.
No. Not in this instance. You have 5 kids who are hanging around a home where there is no adult present, and that's what happens. You have 5 14-year-old kids. Somebody gets thrown in the pool and his cell phone gets destroyed. You want the mother who's working to take care of it? Her son was not supposed to have friends over when she wasn't home. That's the rule. She knows he lies. But she has 2 choices. Either she can stay home and watch him, or she could work and support her family. So she chooses to work and support her family so that they have food to eat and that somebody can come put chlorine in the pool.
That's right.
You're right. So it's not her fault. Not her fault. Did Alex's mother ever tell you that she didn't want you there when she wasn't there?
No, ma'am.
Never told you?
Oh, that's a lie.
Shh. Did she ever tell you that she didn't want you in the house when she wasn't there?
Not directed to me, towards me.
Who was it directed towards?
Well, one day I was at their house, and when his mother came home, and she was yelling at them because she wanted nobody in the house.
When she wasn't home?
Yes, ma'am.
Ma'am, may I say something?
There you go.
Before he went to the house, I asked him to call up to make sure that it was okay that he comes over. And according to her son...
No, not according to her son. That's not something that he does. That's something that you do, Miss Labacetta. You call the mother.
Right.
And you say to the mother, is it okay if the kids come over to play?
Right.
That's your job. That's not him.
Right.
They lie. They lie like rugs. He lies, he lies, he lies. They all lie. They all lie to get what they want. And they're only 14. Wait till they get to be 16. Wait till they want to use the car. Wait till they want somebody to sleep over. Wait till you want to go away on a vacation when he's 17 and he says, I don't think I want to go with you. I have too much homework to take care of. You can't pass the buck. You can't say, well, I told my son to call. And your son called Alex. And then your son came back and said, sure, it's okay.
Right there.
What?
I was standing right there when he made the phone call.
Miss Lapacetta, how many children do you have?
I have 3, ma'am.
You have 3. Is he the oldest?
Yes.
Learn from your mistakes, madam. My children are much older. When they're teenagers, you know how you can tell they're lying? when their mouths are moving. You understand? Especially when they want to do something that they know is wrong. Anyway, your case is dismissed. Be friends. Be nice. Good.
Thank you.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
This boy has come to my home. He nearly set my house on fire.
Well, those sense about a couple of things that he took from the apartment, but I'm really totally disinterested in that. So let's not bother with that. Let's deal with the big stuff.
Okay.
Okay? Are you nervous?
Yes.
Good. Let's start out with the loans. How long were you living together before you loaned him money?
We had just moved into a two-bedroom apartment at the end of June. And it was
June of
around-
2005?
Yes.
Okay.
And in that same month of June is when he found out that he was ordered to a collection agency for a dentist bill. It was $1,900.
Dentist bill for whom, sir?
That was my son. He had dentistry work. His mom took him in to have dentistry work, and I believe she was responsible for the bill, but I found out later she hadn't paid it. So because he had my last name, I was sent to collections for it.
How much money did you give him at that time?
$1,000. He paid $952 of it, and I paid $1,000 of it.
So let's hear about this first $1,000, Mr. Essman.
It was came out of our joint account that we had shared together. We had a joint checking account.
How long had you had a joint account?
We'd had it for a month or two.
1 month.
Yeah, I'd say 1 month.
Okay.
We had it since...
Shh.
Okay.
How much money did you put in the account?
1 month, I'd say $3,500.
And how much money did you put into that account?
I put every one of my paychecks into it from the time of June. I was making twice as much as he was. $3,500 is an exaggeration. I don't have
Really?
an
Well,
exact...
we can always check his tax returns. How much did you earn annually, sir?
Every year I've made $50,000, $60,000 since 2001.
Okay. And you're paid by check?
Yeah.
How much money do you say he put into the account?
In between $100 to $400 a week. So I don't know how that equals $3,500.
I don't either.
I made a lot more than that. I made $1,000 a week. At one job, I went unemployed for 3 weeks, and I had
bank
another job.
statements that
Can I see that?
These are all bank statements showing I have all of his paychecks documented, CLE paychecks.
Oh, good. Oh, I just want to see.
And then
I just
these are
want
the
to
big bills right
Listen,
on top here.
I don't give me big bills.
Okay.
I just want to see his pay stubs, say for the month of May and June. You have those? Show them
That's
to
the
me.
whole
Don't give me
year.
a whole.
Can I
at
have
my
that?
age, I can't look at all those things. Just give me what I need, please.
475 in June, on 6/24, 9/12, on 7/1, 8/67.
That's July. What else do you have?
Those are the only ones I have for June because he was fired at the end of June for stealing gas.
Okay.
He was unemployed for 2 months.
What was the next amount of money that you had to advance to him?
Well, then I advanced him the $1,000 for the collection agency for his son, and then he had to pay $1,000 for a lawyer. He was going through a custody battle with his son. He paid the first $1,000 down payment, and then I paid a $422.35 and a $421.47.
When you say, Miss Aherns, that he paid the $900 for the dental bill and you paid the $1,000, where did he get the $900 from?
That was from his paycheck, but he couldn't pay the whole thing.
Just a minute. So he took that out of his paycheck. And would you tell me how it came about that you put in the other $1,000?
His account was being overdrawn. He didn't have enough money in his account from all of his paychecks to pay the things that he was buying and then also pay for...
Did he have his own bank account in addition to the joint one that you had together?
Up until June. The time that we moved in together, we combined our joint checking account and combined our money. And, you know, I made more money. I chalked that up to, okay, I paid the bills, I paid everything. But these specific things were for his son, and we made an agreement that he would pay me back for those specific things.
When did you make that agreement?
During that month of July, when he had to pay those things. He was fired, and we were under the agreement that when he got a job again that he would help me make payments. But when he got that job, his money had to go for other things.
So you let it go?
Well, I kind of still was in hopes that I would get reimbursed,
listening.
like promised.
I just,
Why are you
had
laughing?
assumed.
Don't laugh. Don't laugh. It's
No, I just assumed
laughing
that
is
we had-
unsatisfactory, sir.
Okay.
She's upset and you're laughing. That is unpleasant.
Okay, but she knew when she got in the relationship, I had a son, my expenses were more than hers. We put our money together, assuming that all of our money together would go to all the bills combined.
Yeah, your bills and her bills, but not your
Yes.
kids' bills.
Why
She didn't
not?
make
Why
them.
not my
She
kids'
didn't-
bills?
Because she's not responsible for your kid.
Then she shouldn't have got in a relationship with me.
Oh,
That's
listen to me. Listen to me. Stop smiling.
okay. I'm sorry.
Stop smiling.
Okay.
Stop smiling. By the way, don't ever get a joint bank account with somebody
Never
that you're not
again.
married to. Even when you're married,
Lesson learned.
you can keep your own. For sure. Listen out there in television land. Don't open up a joint bank account with somebody. You want to know why women do that? Women do that because it makes them feel like they're nesting.
Right, exactly.
Like they're creating a home with someone.
Exactly.
Men usually do that because they're going to take advantage of them. Just the way it works out. Because I guarantee you that if you had 3 children and he was making twice as much money as you were, he would not put in all of his money so that you could support your children with it. It only usually works one way. It's just the way life is. Be smart, okay?
Yes.
Mr. Essman, when you open up a joint bank account with someone with whom you are living, and even though salaries aren't always the same, sir, one presupposes that those joint bills will be paid out of a joint account. Your kid's dental work doesn't fall under that category. The fact that you and your ex-wife were embarked upon a custody dispute, whether it involved custody, visitation, or child support, has nothing to do with the joint bills that you and Miss Ahrens had together. Your food, your electric, your cable, your washing and drying, your rent, but not your kid's teeth. Your kid's teeth are your problem and his mother's problem. We understand each other? Good.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
Who is this?
My mother. She came in
You
and saw
must
the
have been
damage.
praying really, really good, because but for the grace of God, she could have married him.
Oh, my God.
Oh, my God.
And later today,
You're never going to outsmart me, and there's a very good reason for that. Do you know what the reason is?
No, ma'am.
Think about it.
Amanda Ahrens says ex-boyfriend Christopher Essman owes for loans and eviction fees. Amanda claims Christopher's temper caused them to be kicked out of their apartment.
All right, now let's get to the evening that caused the eviction. You want to tell me what happened?
Yeah, we got in an argument because I asked him about a text from his ex-wife, and I could tell he was getting upset, so I wanted to just drop it. He's had tempers in the past before, and I didn't want this to cause a fight, so I said, never mind, let's forget it. He's like, no, let's talk about it. And I said, no, let's just drop it. I'm got in the shower, locked the bathroom door so I could take a shower. He put his boot through the bathroom door, broke a hole in the bathroom door about this size to reach up and unlock the door. He came in, tore down the shower curtain while I wasn't taking a shower, and cursing and swearing at me. I threatened I was going to call the police, and he said, no, I'm going to call the police instead. Meanwhile, he's ranting and raving, running around the apartment. He banged his head into the closet door, making a huge hole in that. He threw a cell phone at the wall and broke the phone in half. Well, the police came, saw the damage, and they arrested him.
Okay, Mr. Essman, let me hear your version of the events. You say that she's responsible.
It was, she didn't drop it. She pushed me until I lost my temper.
Well, how did she do that, Mr. Essman?
She just kept going on and on and on about how
How?
I wasn't sharing the information. Okay, my ex-wife wanted to take my son for the weekend. I said, that's fine. She was mad at me for not letting her know about it. You know, I didn't know it was a big deal. I thought it was between me and my ex-wife. She wanted to do something with her son. It's her son. She has perfect right for it, you know. And she just kept going and going and going about it, how I lied to her and, you know, don't feel her run on everything. And she just made it into a big old deal. Well, I lost my temper. I regret.
Tell me what you did to lose your temper.
I don't know.
Did you put your foot through the bathroom
Yeah, I
door?
did.
Just a second. Now, Mr. Essman, so I want you to listen to me very carefully. What you said was she was going on and on and on and on. She pushed you. But she had removed herself from the situation, sir, when she went into the bathroom and locked the door.
Yes.
Which means that she wasn't pushing you and pushing you and pushing you, sir. She had extricated herself.
But she was still going on and on and on about
You mean
how
from
I
the
lied to
bathroom?
her.
Just a second. From the bathroom.
Yes.
She was screaming outside while
Yes.
she was taking a shower?
That is
you know how
not true.
You know how ridiculous that sounds?
Yeah.
It sounds ridiculous. And if it sounds ridiculous, Mr. Essman, it's because it's not true. You were angry. She may have pushed you and then pushed you to a point and she said, well, now I'm finished and I'm going in and closed the bathroom door and locked it. That I believe. But you weren't finished yet.
No.
You were still angry.
Because
Listen to me. You were still, I get it.
Yeah.
But you can't do that.
No, and I'm paying for it. I'm still paying for it now.
Well,
so I had to
after
pay
this
for it.
happened, sir, were you evicted from the apartment?
Yes.
Well, if you were evicted from the apartment, that's your fault.
Well, we wouldn't have been, but she went down there and decided she could have stayed in the apartment.
And who was going to pay the rent?
Well, she made more money than me.
Just a second. What difference does that make?
Well, I'm saying that she didn't make no more money than me. She couldn't afford to stay there by herself.
Well, if that's what you're saying to me, you said she makes more money. Now you're saying neither of you could have afforded to stay in the apartment by yourself. So the reason you were evicted is
was because of the damage I caused.
That's correct. So why should she have any responsibility with regard to the breaking of the lease?
Because she started the whole fight. Yeah, I should have walked
asked him a
away.
question.
Just a second. Who is this?
My mother. She came in
You
and saw
must
the
have been
damage.
praying really, really good, because but for the grace of God, she could have married him.
Oh, my.
Oh, my God. Oh, my God. Do you hear?
There are miracles.
There are miracles. This one was a cheap one. This was a cheap miracle, so you must have been praying really good. How much was half of the eviction?
$917.50.
Did you pay that?
Yes.
Good. You're going to pay hers, too. Judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $27.17. Thank you.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
It started off fiery and fast, and it ended just as quickly as it started.
Just egging me on, not filling her in on everything.
Made a wrong choice in the guy that I thought I liked.
And now the next case.
All parties in the matter of Tabler versus Lorette. Step forward.
22-year-old Lacey Taylor is suing her ex-fiancé, Robert Lorette, for unpaid charges on a Lowe's credit card.
Miss Tabler, you and Mr. Lorette used to live together.
Correct.
According to your complaint, you made a loan to him.
Right.
The loan to him was for tools for a business that he wanted to start. You made the loan to him by taking out a credit card
Yes.
for Lowe's, where he purchased the tools with the understanding that he was going to pay that bill. And when you broke up, he did not pay the bill, and you want him to pay the bill because this was an expense solely for him and solely for his business.
Correct.
Mr. Lorette says he gave you money to pay the bills. You were in charge of paying the bills, and you should have paid the Lowe's bill like you paid all the other bills.
I never got any money.
Okay. When did you live together, Ms. Tabler?
We moved in October 2004.
Did you move into his house, or did he move into your house?
I moved into his apartment with him and his mother.
When did you take out this Lowe's credit card?
In November 2004.
So a month after you moved in?
Yes.
Well, tell me about it.
He had been working for different people for construction, and he wanted to start up his business again because he had it once before. So we had agreed that since he didn't have enough credit to get a credit card from Lowe's, we would open it under my name, him sign for it. That way he has his own card, and he would be responsible for the bill, basically everything. It was just my name on it, just so he can get the account.
Well, that was in November of 2004.
Right.
When was the first purchase made?
Actually in November 2004.
And when the bill came in December, who paid it?
I did.
You did?
Yes.
From what account? Shh, Mr. Lorette, from what account did you pay it?
I did several times go in and make payments, besides me giving her money for the bill.
Just a sec. You went into the store
Yes, ma'am.
and made payments.
Yes, ma'am.
How often did that happen?
Every now and then. It only happened once or twice.
Now you're thinking back to what you just said to me, Mr. Lorette. You're trying to take it back, sir. Don't play with me, sir. You're never going to outsmart me, and there's a very good reason for that. Do you know what the reason is?
No, ma'am.
Think about it. You're not going to be able to outsmart me, sir. So when you said who paid for it, and you said, I did, that was the right answer. You paid for it, starting in November of 2004. Let me see the last bill that you got. Mr. Lorette, start talking, sir.
Well,
That's the last one.
I don't understand that if she thought I was responsible for it, which the bill is in her name and it goes to her house, her address, they have no way of contacting me. If she thought I was liable for the bill, she should have gotten in contact with me.
Actually, the collection agency did have his number because I gave them his number, and they called him and they said no one answered.
Well, sure, because they had you. Do you have a job?
Yes, ma'am.
How long have you been working at the same job?
I just transferred to a different job. I had the previous job for a year.
Who do you work for?
I'm a carpenter.
Who do you work for?
Rodney.
How long have you worked for Rodney?
I've been with him for about 6 months.
You get paid in check or cash?
Check.
Prior to that, who are you working for?
I was working for another construction company.
For how long?
Well, I was with him for about a year.
Paid in check or cash?
Oh,
it's not an answer.
He paid me cash and no taxes taken out, and I filed taxes at the end of the year.
So there was no way that the Lowe's people, if they wanted to come and get money from you, could attach your salary. Because till the end of the year, nobody knew you had a salary, right?
Yes, ma'am, you're right.
I know I'm right. Mr. Lorette, I got that I'm right, sir. I want to know, why don't you take care of your bills?
I did give her money for it.
Well,
what
show
she
me,
did with
sir.
the money,
Show me that you gave her
I
money.
can't show you because she was living with me. I trusted her.
Well, tell me how you gave her money for this Lowe's bill.
When she opened the account, the first few jobs I did, I gave her like $1,200.
Yes.
And then when the business did go down and I did sell the tools, I gave her an additional $600. What she did with the money, that was her.
Okay, so you gave her, according to you, $1,800.
Yes, ma'am.
He actually pawned some of the tools also, which I didn't know about till after they were pawned.
That's what I gave her the $600
Did he give you money for that?
No, ma'am.
When did you pawn the tools?
I don't
March
quite remember.
16th, 2005. I
And how
actually
do you
have
know that?
copies of the receipts from the pawn shop.
And how did you get those?
I had to go through the police to get a copy because my name was on the account, so I do own the tools, but I wasn't the one who pawned the tools.
He did?
Yes, ma'am.
Can I see that, please?
Sure.
What'd you do with the money, Mr. Lorette?
I gave her some of the money.
You gave her some of the money. How much did you give her?
I don't remember how much I got. I know I gave her
He got
$600.
$280 from it.
Did you sell some of the tools and pawn some of the tools, sir, or did you pawn all of the tools?
I really do not remember.
Now you're getting smart, Mr. Lorette. Now you're getting smart.
That was the only receipt. Shh. Sorry.
I got him.
Okay.
You don't get it, but I get it.
Oh, no, I get it now.
Now you get it.
It took me a while, but I get it.
I'm older.
That's what my mom said.
I'm older.
It's
I
the
get
wise.
it. I get it. You know, the most interesting thing about him is when he answers your question, you think he's not smart enough to lie, right? You know, that's
Yeah.
the first impression
I
that you get.
believed it
but
for a
after,
while.
But after you talk to him for a while, you see that this dumb act is not so dumb. Now, it would be impossible for you to give her $600 for the tools that you pawned because you only got $280 for the tools. And unless you're a magician, it's very hard to make $600 out of $280. Wouldn't you say that that's true, sir?
It was just a rough guess, Your Honor. It's been
It
so
was
long.
a rough guess, but you didn't tell me that, Mr. Lorette. You didn't say it was a rough guess, but it wasn't a rough guess about the $1,200,
I
right?
know for a fact I gave
That
her
you know for a fact. Show me a bank statement where you
I
took out
can't-
$1,200.
I have a witness.
Listen, he is not going to stand up and put himself into my mouth. I guarantee you that, Mr. Lorette.
That's the only
He's
proof
not
I
that
have.
stupid. Isn't that right, sir?
Yes, ma'am.
Right. Pay your bills, sir. And I want to tell you something. Most of the people that you're going to meet in this life are going to be smarter than you.
Probably right.
I know. Right. Judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $22.70. That's
Thank
all.
you.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
I'm just glad the bill's paid off because now I can just put it behind me and keep going.
She was living with me. I trusted her with the cash.
Case number 150 on the calendar in the matter of Beasley versus Williams. Parties have been sworn in, Judge. You may be seated. Gentlemen, have seats, please.
Miss Beasley, you weren't there when this accident occurred with your car, is that right?
No.
Your daughter was driving your car or her boyfriend?
It's her car, and he was driving.
Okay. So you're here because you want to get some money for the damage to your car. Why don't you sit down for a moment, and I may ask you to come back. It's your car?
Yes.
How old are you?
16.
So your mother paid for the car?
No, I did.
You did?
Yes.
Good. How much did you pay for the car?
$2,200.
Where'd you get the money from?
I have a job.
And you allowed your boyfriend to drive the car?
I did.
And what date did this accident happen?
March 13th.
What kind of car was it?
A Grand Am.
Did you have insurance?
Yes.
Did you have collision insurance?
I have minimum coverage.
Okay. So who's going to speak for the two of you?
I am.
You were in the passenger seat. Tell me what happened.
We were driving down Troy Street, and as we were driving, we noticed that we had a problem earlier in the evening.
With whom?
Ron.
You know him?
Well, we didn't.
What drew you to his attention if you hadn't seen him before?
He was drag racing with other cars.
Your Honor, that's not true.
We noticed that he was racing other cars, and we thought it was funny, so at the next light we took off, and I guess he was threatened that our car took off faster than his. And we passed through a light, but he got stuck at the red light, so we went downtown, and we didn't see him downtown after that until we were leaving.
Tell me about it when you saw him again that evening.
He was at a red light when we saw him, and we were approaching the red light. As we were approaching, the light turned green, and we went on through the light, and then he took off, and later down the road, he caught up with us, and he swerved at the car. We realized it was getting...
Your Honor,
I don't want to hear you yet. You'll have a chance.
Yes, ma'am.
Go ahead.
We realized that it was getting a little too out of control, so we decided that we would go home. And as we were heading home, we realized that he continued to follow us.
Now, Miss Beasley, Was your boyfriend driving in a way that your mother wouldn't approve of?
At the beginning of the night, yes.
It's a good thing you said that. Now, did you tell your mother before today that your boyfriend was driving your car in an inappropriate manner?
Yes, ma'am.
Good. Is that right? So that now, after you were playing around with him, I don't know what you were doing, you decided that you had enough and you were going home.
Yes.
What happened?
Well, we were driving down Troy, and we turned our left-hand turn signal on to turn onto...
Which are you? Are you pink or green?
We're the pink.
You're making a left-hand turn from the wrong lane.
No, it's a two-way road.
Oh, it's a two-way road?
Yes.
So what you're telling me is he came around and he was going the wrong way on that lane? Is that what you're telling me?
No, he was driving behind us, and as we went to make a left-hand turn, he tried to pass us.
Okay, now let me look at yours. Quite frankly, I'm looking at yours, and you're going to have to explain that to me. She's the pink car, is that
yes.
right?
I'm the green car. I was behind them.
Right.
And they put their left turn signal on under the overpass, and then they got onto the shoulder of the road to make that left-hand turn because they didn't slow down.
Yes.
And he had his left turn signal on. I went to pass, and then he cut across.
Was he drunk?
I couldn't tell you.
Was he cited for being drunk, Mr. Williams?
I couldn't tell you, Your Honor.
Mr. Williams, somebody would have to be either drunk or psychotic for me to attribute the kind of behavior that you have attributed to him, sir. Were you drag racing that night?
No, Your Honor.
I don't believe you.
My mother was sick with bronchitis. I was run to the 24-hour pharmacy for her. I was on my way back home from the downtown area.
Where's your mother?
She's at home.
What time did you go out to the pharmacy for your mother?
8:45, 9 o'clock at night.
And how far is the pharmacy from your house?
A good 15-minute drive.
And what time was this accident? What time was the accident?
Around 10:30 or 11 o'clock at night.
It was around about that time.
Well, what were you doing, sir, between 8:45 and 9 o'clock and 10:30? It's an hour and a half. How far is the pharmacy from your house?
Good 15 minutes, 20.
That's what you just told me.
Right.
So what were you doing out at 10:30 at night?
We went to the pharmacy. They said that her prescription wasn't ready. We started heading back, and
Who's
then
we?
that's me and my witness, Richard.
Yes.
We started heading back, and then that's when we seen them on our way back on 31. We stopped at a stoplight. They pulled up. He threw the car in neutral, was revving it up. They were laughing. They thought it was funny. We started driving. He's hitting the gas and the brakes, trying to get me to race him. I rolled down. I had Spud roll down the window, and I told them that I'm not wasting my time on it. So we continued on down the road.
Mr. Williams, this happened at 10:30, an hour and a half later.
Right.
Why didn't you go home and say to your mother, the prescription wasn't ready, so instead of waiting, I came home? That would have brought you home at 9:15.
I don't even know what time. I don't even know if it happened about 10:30. Nobody had a watch or anything. I'm not sure exactly what time it happened, so we're just going on hearsay.
But it was that time because when the accident occurred, I called my mom and I did look at the cell phone to see what time it was.
Well, you're not sure, so she's sure. So if you're not sure, she's sure.
That's like taking their word, saying I was racing, and then me not saying
No. I didn't say anything about racing, Mr. Williams.
Okay.
I said to you, if your mother has bronchitis and you're going to the drugstore for her at 8:45 and the drugstore is 15 minutes away, I don't know what you'd be doing out at 10:30 at night without the prescription.
Waiting for it to get done.
Nah.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
He wasn't driving crazy, so we wouldn't be here.
I want to explain something to you. You should be driving sufficiently behind him so that you don't hit his car. Do I make myself clear, or do you want me to explain it to you again?
Sure.
Good.
And later today,
I went for an overnight trip. I'm there a week. My mother has to come stay with my son. I'm lucky I had a job when I came back. He's the snowmobiler, not me. This
job's I'm speaking.
real cases, real people. Judge Judy. 16-year-old Jennifer Beasley says 18-year-old Ronald Williams owes for crashing into the side of her Pontiac Grand Am. Ronald says the driver, Jennifer's boyfriend, was trying to race him.
Why didn't your insurance company cover this damage?
Because the car was insured for my mother, not for myself.
That's not true.
So is what you're telling me you're not supposed to be driving that car?
Yes, Your Honor.
So if you're not supposed to be driving the car, Mr. Williams, why were you driving it?
She gave me permission to run to the pharmacy for her.
Listen, if your mother wanted to insure you, it would probably increase her premiums on the car, which is why she chooses not to insure you, which is why she indicates to her insurance company that you will not be driving the car. Right?
Yes, Your Honor.
I wasn't there, so I don't know whose fault it is. All I know is one thing. If you hadn't done the wrong thing by getting behind the wheel of a car that you knew you had no right to get behind, we wouldn't be standing here today because your insurance would have paid for it. Can't
I
do the
also
wrong
believe
thing.
that if he wasn't driving like, I don't know, if he wasn't driving crazy, so we wouldn't be here
I
either.
want to explain something to you. If you're driving right behind him, you should be driving sufficiently behind him so that you don't hit his car. And if he pulls off to the side of the road, you should be driving slowly enough. Slowly, because you said you saw him before and he was trying to drag race you before. Is that what you told me, Mr. Williams? Is that what you told me?
Yes, that's what I
well,
told you.
then if that's what you told me and if you wanted to avoid a problem, then you're not driving up his behind so that you can't stop your car if he goes off to the shoulder and then makes a quick left turn, which I don't believe. Do I make myself clear?
Yes, Your Honor.
Do I make myself clear, or you want me to explain it to you again? Clear?
Yes, Your Honor.
Good. How much did it cost you to fix the car?
We haven't fixed it yet. We have estimates.
Can I see them, please? Miss Beasley, you could step up now, because I don't want to hear from him because I...
We also have a letter
Don't. I have
that
a-
said that the car wasn't insured at all at the time of the accident.
Car wasn't insured at all?
Yes.
How could you be driving a car that's not insured at all?
That's funny because the insurance company sent us a check in the mail because they dropped all the cars and we had to get more insurance on the cars from another company. So the car was insured.
Our letter is from his insurance company.
I have photos also, Your Honor.
Can I see the photos, please? Sure. Thank you.
That's it? You didn't want to see these?
Yeah, they're right.
Okay.
Thank you.
No, there was no policy in force on the date of this accident, and the policy has been rescinded. And I have photographs which clearly indicate that you hit them on the driver's side door. Mr. Williams, you've got to do the right thing, sir. If you don't do the right thing, you end up on the short end of the stick, sir. And if you have no insurance, or if the car had insurance but you weren't supposed to be driving, then you shouldn't have been driving. And you weren't so worried about your mother because you went out at 8:45 and you were still trolling around at 10:30 without the prescription. So, judgment for the plaintiff for the amount of $1,602. That's all. Thank you.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
Thank you. He rolled the window down and tried to talk to us, and we rolled our window up.
They're hitting the gas, trying to get me to race, roll down their window, and I was like, I'm not wasting my time with you, so.
He's just saying stuff about how he needed to go home and get a different car that was faster.
I feel I have no responsibility. Her boyfriend was driving recklessly, and that's what they get.
I learned my lesson that I'm going to be the only one driving my car.
And now the next case.
All parties in the matter of Lesser versus Kaufman. Step forward, please.
Commercial Vehicle Inspector Landis Lesser is suing her ex-boyfriend, contractor Chip Kaufman, for the cost of a helicopter rescue during a snowmobile trip.
Miss Lesser, Mr. Kaufman was your boyfriend, and according to what I read, uncross your arm, sir. According to what I read, you and the defendant decided to go on a snowmobiling vacation, an overnight, last December. You did that, and when you got to around where the campsite was, where you were supposed to spend the night, there was a blizzard, and you got snowed in. You called for a helicopter to rescue you. Helicopter came ultimately and rescued you. You want Mr. Kaufman to pay for the helicopter bill. Mr. Kaufman says he owes you nothing. You decided to call for a helicopter. You called. It just happened to be a helicopter that was being piloted by an ex-boyfriend of yours. He didn't ask you to call for a helicopter. He was just as happy to wait there until the situation resolved itself. You wanted to get out. Pay for it, right?
Yes.
If I'm wrong, tell me.
That was it.
On what date in December did you decide to take this snowmobiling excursion?
That would have been on December 26th. Chip had brought up the fact that he wanted to go on this snowmobile trip.
Chip.
and that he was going to call. Actually, the people in Deadwood are friends of his.
I don't care. You went on the 26th.
Okay, we went on the 27th.
Fine.
He brought it up
27.
Yes.
Okay. And how far did you go?
We rode in 25 miles.
When did it start to snow?
That evening after we got into our cabin and went to bed. When I woke up the next morning, there was a lot of snow. The day that we went in, there was no snow.
Had you called to check on the weather?
No, ma'am.
Why not?
I'm not a snowmobiler. He owns the snowmobiles. He planned this trip. He's like, hey, let's go in.
How old are you?
I am 39 years old.
Miss Lesser, if you're going on a snowmobile trip, in what state is this?
Idaho. I have never been
Idaho.
on a trip.
And it snows a lot in Idaho?
Not like this. I have never seen snow like this.
So what happened on the 28th?
On the 28th, I woke up and I said, Chip, it snowed a lot. He laid in bed. I would say another 45 minutes. He got up and he's like, oh no, it was incredible the amount of snow that they got in that area overnight.
When you slept in the cabin, was there a fire?
Yes.
So you were warm?
Yes.
And did you have food?
Yes, at the lodge they had food.
Good, fine. And when did you finally call for this helicopter?
The date would have been Friday the 2nd of January, 2004.
Okay. And from the 28th when you were there, did you sleep in the cabin?
Yes.
And you had food in the lodge?
Yes.
So there was no emergency?
Correct.
So what made you call the helicopter?
Because it kept snowing and snowing. Chip had a friend, Jeff, that is a hotshot snowmobile rider that they ride together, and he could not make it in to rescue us. The groomer was broke down.
But you were safe in the cabin.
But we've missed a week of work, ma'am, and I have a 15-year-old son.
Well, you both missed a week of work, and so you had to get home for your son. Now, what happened when you said you wanted to call this helicopter? What did Mr. Kaufman say?
We had discussed it after these parties tried to rescue us, and we had both agreed that we would dispatch the helicopter.
And how much was the helicopter?
$1,710.
Okay. And why do you think that he should pay this whole amount, Miss Lesser?
I went for an overnight trip. I'm there a week. I miss a week of work. My mother has to come stay with my son.
So?
I'm lucky I had a job when I came back.
So?
He's the snowmobiler, not me. He owns the snowmobiles. He knew the people. This was all his idea. I was along for the ride. We had been having trouble. We went through the holiday season, got along pretty good. He wanted to do this. I went with him because
so I
he wanted
understand
to
that
do
that's
this.
your rationale. Now, Mr. Kaufman, you're going to explain to me, sir, why you shouldn't be responsible for this airlift.
Well, because Miss Lesser and I didn't discuss the agreement on this helicopter deal. It was all her idea.
How much money did you give her, sir?
I gave her $350 so far.
You said $250.
No, I said $350.
Did you? Maybe I read it wrong.
Maybe she's.
Maybe I read it wrong.
He's only paid $250.
$350, Your Honor.
Yes, you said you gave her $350 in cash. Can you prove it to me that you gave her $350 instead of $250?
Other than what I documented for my first payment was just approximately the end of March. And
How much did you give her?
$250 there.
Yeah.
And then on April 9th, another $100. And then on and then that was it.
And when did he give you, according to you, $250?
I have a calendaring of every time that I have talked to Chip. This started, I have certified letters.
You're bothering me.
Okay.
You're annoying me.
All right. I talked to him on March 28th.
Miss Lesser.
He paid me on the 17th of April $250, which I went out to his work and picked up because he has a problem.
Fine. Now you answered my question.
Okay.
Okay. You may have been a guest on the job. I'm speaking. You may have been a guest on the trip. However, you have the same ability that he does to call and check on the weather for the trip.
Yes, ma'am.
You didn't do that. The two of you chose, according to you, to get out because you had been out of work for a week, plus the fact that you had a 15-year-old son who required care. And it would seem to me that this was an unanticipated expense. So irrespective of the fact that you were a guest and there was a trip on him, this was an unanticipated cost. Would seem to me that I agree with you that you both discussed being airlifted out of there because you had been there already almost a week longer than you anticipated, and that it's a cost that should be borne between the two of you. So half the cost for him after he's paid his $250 is $725. I'm entering a judgment accordingly. Thank you.
You're welcome, Judge. Parties have been sworn in, Your Honor. You may be seated. Folks, have seats, please.
Corey.
Yes.
It is your claim that this lady stole 4 puppies from you, 4 bull mastiff puppies.
Yes, Your Honor.
Those are puppies that grow up to be really big dogs, if my memory is correct. Is that right?
Yes.
How much do the dogs weigh when they're full grown?
My male's about 160 to 170 pounds.
Do you have a picture of him?
I do when he was a puppy.
Mrs. Bergman said she did not steal the puppies at all. You owed her the puppies because last year she bought 4 puppies from you and they died. So you owed her these dogs and she merely came and took them. Is that right?
That's correct.
Okay. How long have you been breeding bull mastiffs?
3 years.
Just my own curiosity, you bought 4 puppies from him last year?
Correct.
Is that correct?
I don't know, actually.
What do you mean you don't know?
I don't recognize this lady at all.
Do you recognize her?
Well, I was the one that was there when she stole them, so.
Did you have a litter of puppies last year?
Yeah, I have one every year.
But you don't recognize her from last year?
No. I've sold a lot of puppies. I've sold over 50 puppies to different people.
Okay. Don't you remember somebody buying 4 puppies at one time?
Yeah. I
Yes.
don't remember her. Sorry. Yes.
But you remember somebody last year buying 4 puppies at one time?
Yes.
And it could have been her.
Yes.
What did you buy 4 puppies last year for?
Okay, well, I went over there, Your Honor, to buy 1 puppy.
Last year?
Last year. And he said, well, I have an ad here. They were $400 a piece in this ad. This is the ad I bought them out of. They were $400 a piece at the time. I went over to his house to buy 1 puppy. He said, I will let you have 4 for $600. So I said, okay. So I wrote him a check, this check, for $600.
Let me see it, please. Well, clearly, Corey, she wrote a check out to you, which you cashed for $600 on July 11th, 2003.
It's possible.
No, I'm telling you, you did.
Okay.
That refresh your recollection?
No, it doesn't, but.
Okay. So you took 4 puppies for $600. What was your intention to do with the 4 puppies?
Well, because we had the 4 puppies, I was going to give 1 to my sister and keep the other 3 for our family because we have a ranch. We live on a big ranch as guard dogs.
Who changed the number of dogs here on the check?
When I was writing the check, Your Honor.
Yes.
At first, he was going to sell me 3, and then I was going to get 4 because we were negotiating the price.
Now, what happened to the puppies last year when you got them home?
Well, as soon as I got home, they weren't eating, and they started having diarrhea. So the very next day, I called his mother because he didn't have the puppies. His mother had the puppies. And I said, I'm bringing these puppies back, and I want my check back. And so I took the puppies over to where I got them and demanded my check back. And he had cashed my check and would not give me my money back. And I
This
said,
was just a second. This was the next day?
Yes.
No, that's not true. That's not true. He did not cash the check the same day. He did not cash the check for 3 days.
Okay. Well, he told me he cashed the check
I don't care what he told you, madam. All you had to do was call the bank, and the bank would have said the check has not been cashed.
Well, I did not do that.
Well, that's unfortunate for you.
Well, he told me that. Anyway, I didn't check the bank. And he agreed. I asked him, he said he would not replace the puppies. I asked his mother, I told his mother what he'd said, and I argued with her, and she said, go make him be responsible. And
don't tell me what his mother said. Just tell me what you did. His mother's not here. That's hearsay.
Then then I went to him and I said, look, I'm not going to argue with you.
Did you take the puppies back?
Yes, I did, but they would not take them back.
Just a second. You took the puppies back to your house. After you went to his house, his mother's house, you took the puppies back to your house.
Because she begged me.
Don't tell me what she begged you. That's hearsay. You took the puppies back to your house.
That's correct.
That was on the 12th of July.
Yes.
The next day.
Yes.
All right. And after they were back in your house, what happened?
Well, we tried to give them rice and hamburger, and then I took them to the vet a couple of days later. 2 had already died.
What day did you take the puppies to the vet?
You have the checks, and you have the... It was a couple of days later I took the puppies to the vet.
On the 15th?
Yes.
Do you have a statement from the vet as to what was done?
No, I did not.
Why not? They gave you one.
I had it in a packet and I didn't bring it.
Well, why didn't you bring it?
I don't know why.
I don't know why you didn't bring it.
I thought that check actually would be okay.
Well, that's ridiculous, madam. You were coming to court. You're supposed to bring proof. Part of your lawsuit, you have a counterclaim. Your counterclaim is for vet bills.
That's right.
Which means that I have to see the bill from the vet. And that you didn't bring with you? Did you bring your lipstick? Did you bring your mascara? That was important. You bring the vet bills if you're suing for vet bills.
Yes, ma'am.
Not the check.
Okay.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
I don't want to have to give you the business in front of your children, but I don't want you to make things up as you go along, Miss Bergman. You're fabricating, and I don't want you to fabricate, especially in front of your children. Certainly not to me.
And later today,
you left. What about all the furniture in the apartment?
I left everything there because he threatened to take my son, our son.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Dog breeders Corey Evans and Justin Holtman claim Jeanette Bergman stole 4 Bull Mastiff puppies.
So the puppies died. What did you do next?
So I called Corey and I said, look, these puppies died and I want you to be responsible for these puppies. And he said, oh, I said, I want you to replace these puppies. And he said, okay, when I have another litter, you'll know. I says, okay. He says, just check the paper. I will have an ad in the paper. Then you could get your 4 puppies.
Now, what did you do when you saw the ad for the Bull Mastiff puppies this year? What did you do?
I called the ad and I said, is this Corey? He said, no, this is Corey's friend. I'm selling these puppies for him.
Justin.
That's correct.
And what did you say?
So I called him up and I said, give me directions because it's been a year and I had forgotten where Corey had lived.
Is that what she said to you?
No.
No, it's not what she said to you at all.
I didn't.
You know, I want to tell you something. Are these your children?
Yes, they are.
I don't want to have to give you the business in front of your children, but I don't want you to make things up as you go along, Miss Bergman. You may feel as if you have a legitimate case, but what you're doing is you're fabricating, and I don't want you to fabricate, especially in front of your children. Certainly not to me. Keep going. So?
I went over to Corey's house after he gave me directions. And I went over there and I said, I'm going to take 4 of these puppies.
You went over there. How did he get over there?
Well, I called him when I got to the house.
What did she say to you? Take your hands out of your pockets.
Basically, or she said...
look at me. Don't look down. Look.
She was coming to look at the puppies because she wanted to buy some of them.
Now, she called you when she got there. What did you say to her when she called you?
I was actually over at the courthouse paying some tickets. I told her it would probably take me about 45 minutes to get there. And I, in the first place, never told her to come over there. She showed up. I gave her directions. She wasn't supposed to show up till he got off work.
So when you got there, when you got to the house, what did you do? Just tell me step by step. You pulled up to the house. You had been to the house before. What did you do?
I told him that I was here to get 4 puppies that Corey owed me. And he handed them to me over the fence, and I put them in my van. And I said, tell him to tell Corey, thank you very much. I won't ask him to pay my vet bill.
Now, Justin, I'd like you to tell me your version of what happened when you arrived from the courthouse from paying tickets and found Miss Bergman at Corey's house.
She asked if they were pure. What else? She asked a few questions about the puppies. Yeah, I think then I took her around back and she started picking the 4 puppies out she wanted. There was 6 there at the time. And
she said she wanted 4?
Yeah.
Did she tell you why she wanted 4?
No, I didn't ask her. She didn't say.
Okay, and then what happened?
We loaded them all up. She shut the back of her van. She went around to the driver's side of her van, sat in there, and started messing with her purse like she was going to write a check or pull some cash out or something.
No.
She asked for a pin. I turned around, started walking, and probably got 2 or 3 steps away. I heard her messing with her power locks, heard the power locks clicking, and she shuts the door and drives off and screams something when she's driving off.
Okay, now can I see the ad for the puppies, please?
Yes. I had ads in 2 or 3 different papers.
Where are the puppies now, Miss Bergman?
They're in my yard.
What was the date that you took the puppies?
It was the
What was the date you took the puppies?
April 1st. I thought it was a sick joke when he called me at work.
Judge Judy continues in a moment. And later today,
You've had a marriage, a divorce, a rekindling, another baby, da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da. And then you say, well, I'm going to give you an engagement ring. It doesn't work that way, sir.
real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Dog breeders Corey Evans and Justin Holtman claim Jeanette Bergman stole 4 Bull Mastiff puppies.
All right, so I have to make a judgment as to whose story sounds more logical and what story that I'm hearing sounds like a fantasy. And quite frankly, Miss Bergman, your story sounds like a fantasy to me. You did, in fact, read the paper, and you did, in fact, see that somebody was selling Bull Mastiffs. You called and you said, is Corey selling them? And Justin said, no, I'm selling them for Corey. You got the address, so you knew it was the same place. And you resorted to self-help, which means you went over there and you tricked him. Because there's no way in the world that this young man would say, oh, you say that he owes you 4 puppies? Here are 4 puppies. Put them in your car. Goodbye. No way he's going to do that. So you went there and you said, I'm here to buy 4 puppies. I want that one and that one and that one and that one and that one. I put them in my truck. You asked him for a pen. You locked the doors. You shouted, now I got what I wanted. And you probably got an extra couple of puppies for your aggravation and maybe for your vet bill. Because I'm not so sure that you brought 4 home last year. Anyway, the puppies were for sale for $500 a piece. By your own acknowledgement, you took 4 puppies. That's $2,000. That's what he's going to get, and your counterclaim is dismissed. That's all. Step out.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
I must have got sick while she had them, because they weren't sick when I had them.
Corey knows he owed me 4 puppies and chose not to give them to me because he's the kind of person that he is.
She's a little nutty. That's basically the whole deal there. I mean,
that's okay because we're Christians and we know what's right.
I've never had anybody bring a puppy back to me.
I had the check that he cashed stating that he really did know me. He cashed my check.
Judge realized she's crazy and stole stuff from me and gave me my money.
And now the next case.
All parties in the matter of De La Vega versus De La Vega, step forward, please.
State worker Anna De La Vega is suing her ex-husband, mailman Patrick De La Vega, for the return of a dresser and a ring. Patrick says the dresser was a gift and the ring was for their engagement.
Mrs. De La Vega, is this your son?
Yes, he is.
How old is he?
17.
Your son's name is?
Randall.
Does Randall have a relationship with his father?
No, he does not.
So he is not his father?
He is not his father.
Okay, fine. Good. I just wanted to make sure, because I usually don't like children in here, to hear it if parents are squabbling. You and Mr. De La Vega were married and then divorced, and several years later got back together again, according to your complaint, and decided to try your relationship out again, and he moved into your home. That didn't work out, and it is your claim that he took from you when he moved out some furniture that belonged to you that he refuses to return, as well as a ring that he had purchased for you as a gift. Mr. De La Vega says that the furniture that he took was furniture that you left in the apartment, just a dresser, and that the ring was an engagement ring, and therefore it was his, and he took it. Is that right?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. When were you divorced?
1986, September.
And when did you get back together again?
September 25th, 1998, he showed up on my doorstep with his clothes.
Okay, and you hadn't seen him in all that time?
We had been talking since December of 1997.
And when did you separate?
March 17th, 2003.
Tell me about this piece of furniture. What is it?
It was a chest of drawers, cherry wood, that I bought on sale at Montgomery Ward's. And
when did you buy it?
In 2000.
Okay, and how much did you pay for it?
I'm estimating the value of $300 because I don't actually have the receipt. I couldn't find the receipt.
Did he leave or did you leave?
I left because we had been to counseling in 2002 and it had
Didn't
broken
work
down.
Out. So March 2003
and
you
I
left.
had asked him to leave and he would not.
So you left. What about all the furniture in the apartment?
I left everything there because he threatened to take my son, our son.
Okay, so you left everything there and you never retrieved it?
I came back, yes, a couple of days later with a moving van.
Okay, because I thought you were taking all the stuff. So you came back with a moving van. Was he home?
Yes, he was, actually.
And you took all the furniture. Tell me what furniture you took.
I took major pieces of furniture.
And the only thing that you left that you now say you want is the chest of drawers. Now tell me about this ring.
My ex-husband was never really good at buying me gifts for Christmas, for birthdays. It was extremely rare that he would even remember to buy me a card. So in July of 2001, he was trying to make it up to me. So he asked me what I wanted. I said, I want a nice ring. So we went looking. He said, okay, you pick out whatever you want, and I'll pay for it.
You have it?
Yes, I do.
I'd like to see it, please.
And I didn't initially know that the ring was gone. He told me by
Just a second. When I didn't ask you any questions. July of 2001. And tell me, did you buy this ring with him, or did he surprise you with it?
No, we went together shopping because he wanted me to pick out whatever it was that I wanted.
Okay, now in July of 2001, is that a birthday? Is that
my birthday is in July 7th, and the ring was purchased July 8th. And I do have
the receipt.
I have the receipt.
I'd like to see it. Well, it was certainly purchased around her birthday, sir, right?
Fine, yes.
Good. Now, Mr. De La Vega, when for the first time between July 2001 and March of 2003 did you start to plan a wedding?
We didn't. We just talked about it. We mentioned it and stuff like that. In fact, we were looking for a home.
Oh. What else did you buy for her between July of 2001 and March of 2003?
Oh, nothing. Gifts and stuff like that.
Well, that's what I'm asking. You said gift, but
yeah,
what did you buy her?
I gave her money and paid for stuff. I can't remember what I bought her, but...
Nothing.
Give her her ring back. Mr. De La Vega, let me explain something to you, sir. An engagement ring is not given, in my judgment, Mr. De La Vega, when you've had a smorgasbord of emotions. You've had a marriage, a divorce, a rekindling, another baby, da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da. You've had a birthday, you've had an anniversary, and then you say, well, I'm going to give you an engagement ring. After I've known you for 25 years.
No,
do you understand, Mr. De La Vega?
Yes, well, we're divorced.
It doesn't work that way, sir. It doesn't work that way. You bought the ring, and if it's the only thing that you can remember having bought for your former wife in 25 years, consider it, sir, a very small token. Now, Mrs. De La Vega, I'm going to get to the rest of your complaint. The rest of your complaint is for an old 4-year-old dresser that you haven't had in your possession for over a year, that you left in the apartment that you shared with him.
Yes.
Forget it.
Thank you.
Do you understand?
Okay.
Forget it. You got the ring. Be a happy girl.
I'm happy.
Good. He says goodbye. I say goodbye. Be
God
well.
Bless.
Enjoy. God bless.
Tozan versus Griffin. Parties have been sworn in. You may be seated. Gentlemen, have seats.
Miss Tozan, who is this?
This is my fiance.
And who is this?
My husband.
The defendant is your mother-in-law.
Ex-mother-in-law.
The mother of your former husband.
Right.
And you have children with your former husband. How many children do you have?
One.
Your mother-in-law had been very involved with your child. It's a girl?
Yes, ma'am.
And as a matter of fact, according to what I've read in her answer, your daughter lived with her for a period of time. Is that right?
That's correct.
How old is your daughter now?
She'll be 11.
And for how long did she live with Miss Griffin?
I'd say for a period of 6 to 8 months.
Is that right?
Almost a year.
And when was that?
May of 95 till April of 96.
Was that a court-ordered arrangement?
Yes, it was.
Because I assume your son and daughter-in-law had some problems that had to be resolved.
Yes, ma'am, right.
And you have had and enjoyed visitation with your granddaughter, regular weekend visitation. I don't know if it's every other week or once a month.
Once a month.
Once a month. Since she went back to her mother. So far, right?
Right. Yes, ma'am.
But then some problems arose. Your complaint is that your former mother-in-law called Child Protective Services, as well as the police, and made certain allegations against you, and you want to be compensated because you claimed those allegations were false. She knew that they were false, and she had no basis to make the calls to Child Protective Services. That's what your lawsuit is about.
Yes.
And Ms. Griffin said that she did have concern for her granddaughter, which is why she placed the calls, and she is counterclaiming for the emotional distress that she suffered as a result of the fact that you no longer let her see her granddaughter. I don't know if I'm going to even reach that because that should be the subject of a court proceeding. You were given court-ordered visitation, Mrs. Griffin, is that right?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you go back to court to enforce your visitation?
Not yet.
Well, then I'm not going to entertain your counterclaim because the court may, in fact, decide that they're going to vacate the order. I hope not. Maybe we can deal with it today so that that won't be necessary. So without getting too emotional, I want you to tell me, Ms. Griffin, since you acknowledge that you called Child Protective Services, what caused you to do that?
I can't do it without being emotional.
Okay.
The day on July 11th, Devin,
Take a breath for a minute.
while she was at our house.
Let me ask you some questions, and maybe you can compose yourself, all right? Was July 11th the day that you say this happened? Was this during a weekend visitation that you had with her? How did she come to be at your house?
This is how it started. Devin never gets to do anything because her mother can't afford it. So we decided maybe she needed a break, and we offered to pay for a day camp because her cousin was going, and they're close.
So far, is that correct, Ms. Tarzan?
Yes, ma'am.
Good.
So we asked Robin if it was okay with her, and we would pay for it. But she'd have to come stay at the house for the summer. Well, it's 6 weeks. It was 6 weeks of camp. And I was supposed to get her 4 weeks in the summer anyway. Okay, finally she said yes, she can go. So that's how she was at the house. Well, my son had called. Now, he told me all his legal stuff was taken care of, but...
Your son, her former husband.
Right. And, you know, why should I not believe it, you know? Although I shouldn't have, but I did. And anyway, he called and he said they had an Akita that died, and we had an Akita I wanted to get rid of. Too big, too strong for me. So he said, Mama, we'll take her. I said, okay. So Devin was at the house, and she hadn't seen her dad but 3 times in 7 years. And she loves her dad. Her mama can't change that. She asked us if she could go. Well, we called Robin. David asked Robin. He said, here's the deal. We're going for the day. We're not going to their place. We're not spending the night or nothing. We're just bringing the dog. Is it okay with you if Devin goes with us? She said, yeah, I guess it'll be okay. Well, the next night she calls. She says, she can't go unless I have a phone number and address. She said the only reason why she wanted it was because of emergencies. Well, she promised Devin, because Devin asked her, Mama, are you going to try and do anything about Daddy? She says, no, Devin, I'm not. And she promised her she wasn't going to use the information for anything, just in case there's an emergency and she needed to reach us. So you gave her the information? Gave her the information. The next morning she calls me, cussing 90 to nothing, cussing me out. Why don't you do some checking into background since you like to check into background so much? I said, what are you talking about? She says, Kirk still got a warrant against him. I said, oh, really? I said, well, I'll check into it. Well, isn't his girlfriend's ex-husband this? I said, no, it's not. That's not her name. Well, come to find out, the phone they had called from, she had Devin give her the name of the person that was on the caller ID. So I said, well, I'll check into it. And she said, well, I'm coming to pick her up at 4 o'clock today when she gets out of camp. I said, okay, fine, whatever.
Okay, so she wasn't going to let her go.
Right. So Devin, of course, broke down. We went into my room, and we were watching TV, and I was holding her because she was crying so hard. She was so upset. She goes, my mama lied to me again. I said, baby, you have to understand, your mom was worried. I said, you know, because your dad is still got a warrant against him. I said, he lied to us again. And I called him and told him she was not coming.
What's the warrant for, Miss Griffin?
Theft, oilfield theft. So I said, baby, I said, you're going to have to go. I said, Mama's coming to get you. I don't want to go. And she proceeded to tell us, you know, things like, Mama's been smoking, they've been smoking drugs at the house. And I said, baby, how do you know that? Have you seen it? She goes, Grandma, I know the difference between cigarette smoke. I've been around it all my life and other smoke. Okay. So I said, okay. I said, baby, you have to go home.
You have to go home.
You have to go home.
So I still haven't
So
heard.
she says she came twice and knocked on the door. Well, I didn't hear because we had the fan on, the TV on, and Devin was crying, and I'm holding her, and I didn't hear her knocking. Well, I finally got Devin calmed down, and I walked out, and I heard the door. I opened the door, and she said, where have you been? I said, right here.
Okay.
So I said, why don't you sit down and let's talk about how Devin's feeling? She said, what do you mean? I said, well, she's upset because she feels like that you lied to her again. Too bad. She'll just have to get over it. She started cussing at me, yelling at me, calling me every name in the book. Devin got scared. Robin says, get your effing out here now.
Okay.
She opened the door, screamed at her mother, shocked me. True. She said, I'm not going with you. And I went, I mean, she just totally shocked me. And then she goes, Grandma, telephone. And then she ran back in the room and slammed the door. I'm lost. I don't know what's going on. She takes off out the door to go call the police. I'm going to get the police to get my daughter. She didn't have to do that. Devin called the police before she left out the door because Robin cussing and screaming and hollered at me. So the police called. I said, this is Mrs. Griffin. He goes, well, we got a call from there. And I said, well, my ex-daughter-in-law just left to go call you. I said, but... So I said, Devin, did you call the police? She said, yes, I did, Grandma. I said, oh, God.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
Well, stability is the most important thing in a child. Is this your first fiancé since your divorce?
Yes. She's been married since my son.
Oh.
She's got 4 kids, 2 illegitimate, all 4 different fathers.
And later today,
You're entitled to wake up one morning, Mr. Fisher, and say, I think I've made a mistake. I don't think Beth and I are right for each other. What you're not entitled to do is to be a sleazebag.
real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Robin Tozen says her ex-mother-in-law, Pamela Griffin, falsely accused her of neglecting her daughter.
When and why did you call Child Protective Services, Ms. Griffin?
Okay, because when she left, her mama sent her back in to get everything that she had at my house because she was never coming back again.
Okay.
She came in and she was crying and she said, Grandma, I have to get everything that I have here because Mama said I'm not coming back again.
Okay.
And then she looked at me and she goes, you know what's going to happen to me when I get home, don't you? And then she grabbed me and started hugging me.
That's why you called Child
That's why I called Child. No. Okay. First of all, I didn't call the police that night. I was so distraught. My husband called. Well, CPS in St. Martin Parish is not open 24-hour, and they weren't. This was a Friday night. So my husband said, I'm going to call because of what Devin said.
Fine. Got it. Now, Ms. Towson, I have just a couple of questions for you. Okay. I take everything that Ms. Griffin says with a grain of salt. Generally, that's what happened. Generally, her son, who is clearly a deadbeat father who has not enjoyed a consistent relationship with his child because he's in and out of trouble and he can't get his act straight. He's probably got a terrible lifestyle. Despite all of that, he's the one you chose to father this child, and if the child has an attachment to him, because every child likes to have a father, that's your fault. You picked him.
Right.
However, I want to know whether at some point you sent the child back into the house to get all of her things because you said to her, you're not going back to Grandma's.
No, that's not what I said.
What did you say?
She only came out with like a plastic bag and a small duffel bag. And upon her staying with her grandmother, I went and bought her several new outfits. That's what I sent her back in there for.
Now, she was still going to camp on July 11th, is that right?
Yes, ma'am.
Did she continue to go to camp after she came home?
No, she did not.
Why not?
That was her choice because we started adding on to where we live.
Well, if she would have stayed with her grandmother, she would have continued to go to camp. That was your arrangement.
Right.
So you chose not to send her back to her grandmother.
She chose not to go back to her
I'm not sure that that's true. Who are you?
I'm Kerry Como, a witness.
A witness to what?
I just wanted to say that Devin was supposed to spend the weekends with us. She was only supposed to go for the week to camp, and on the weekends come home.
Let me explain something to you. You are a stranger to this. This has nothing to do with you. She is the only constant that this child has known since she's born. Not her father, and for a period of time, not even her mother. The only one who has been there all the time is her grandmother. We understand each other?
Mm-hmm. Yes?
Good. That would be a fair statement, wouldn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Ms. Griffin, you're in a difficult position. You were a parent for a short period of time to this child, but you're no longer a parent, you're her grandmother. And you probably feel as if you can do a better job.
I didn't say that.
Listen to me. You probably think you could do a better job, and it's very possible you could do a better job.
Well, she'd have more stability.
Right. Well, stability is the most important thing in a child. Is this your first fiancé since your divorce?
Yes.
She's been married since my son.
Oh.
She's got 4 kids, 2
Yes, I was
illegitimate,
married.
all
Okay,
4 different
just
fathers.
a second. How old are your other children?
6, 2, and 16 months.
And how many people fathered those 3 children?
3.
3 different people?
Mm-hmm.
Then, absolutely right, Miss Griffin. Your granddaughter would have more stability if she lived with you. Unfortunately, children don't get the opportunity of picking their parents. Do you think you're a good mother?
Yes, ma'am, I do.
Well, I'm going to tell you what a good mother does. A good mother does what she thinks is best for her children. Not best for you, but best for her children. And your 11-year-old daughter needs to spend time with her grandmother. It's very wrong of you and very selfish of you not to allow and encourage your granddaughter to continue to see her grandma. It's wrong. And you've made a lot of mistakes in your life. I mean, I can tell that from your history.
I agree.
And the one smart thing that you did was to have her son as the father of one of your children, because she's a stand-up person, right? It's the wrong thing. In any event, you have no basis to sue her for calling the police. You have no basis to sue her for calling Child Protective Services. Your mother-in-law has seen, based upon what you told me about yourself, numerous instances of what she might perceive as neglect. Certainly, 3 children with 3 different men floating in and out of the house is evidence enough of neglect for me, and I'm a grandma. She didn't call Child Protective Services then. She didn't try to get custody away from you then. The reason she called Child Protective Services was because the child made statements to her and she feared for her safety. And I believe probably legitimately. So your lawsuit is dismissed, as is your counterclaim. That's all.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
She hates Devon's father so bad, so much, that she'll try and do everything she can to hurt him.
She thought I was an unfit mother. She would have called 8 years ago. She was mad, and she did it out of spite.
And now the next case.
All parties in the matter of Toda versus Fisher. Step forward, please.
Tammy and Stephen Toda are suing their daughter's ex-fiancé, 21-year-old security guard Alan Fisher, for half the cost of a wedding that never happened.
Mr. Fisher, who is this person?
My wife.
Is there any reason that she's here?
Because I want her to be with me.
Wanted to be with you.
Yeah.
Mr. and Mrs. Toda, this is your daughter, I assume. Your daughter and the defendant were engaged to be married. And according to your complaint, you secured a place and invited 200 guests. And the defendant came to you just shortly before the wedding and said he didn't want to get married.
Right.
You're not looking for that money from Mr. Fisher. You're just looking for certain expenses, a couple of $100, really because you're angry.
Yes.
When was the wedding supposed to take place?
June 21st.
Is that correct so far, Mr. Fisher?
Yes.
When did you marry your wife?
September 4th.
When did you meet her?
I've known her for 4 years.
When did you start seeing her romantically?
We've been seeing each other on and off for like 3 years.
Did Miss Toda know about that?
Nope.
Well, that wasn't fair, was it?
Not really.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Tammy and Stephen Toda claim their daughter's ex-fiancé, Alan Fisher, called off the wedding at the last second.
I would ordinarily say to Mr. and Mrs. Toda, good riddance to him.
Yes.
He is dishonest, dishonorable, sleazy, and your daughter is better off without him.
Yes, she is.
But I'm not prepared at this point to make it so easy for Mr. Fisher. He's entitled to change his mind about getting married. You are entitled to that, Mr. Fisher. You're entitled to wake up one morning, Mr. Fisher, and say, I think I've made a mistake. I don't think that... What's your first name? Beth?
Beth.
I don't think Beth and I are right for each other. We've been together a long time, but I don't think we're right for each other. And before I make a big mistake, for both of us, I have to call off the wedding. You're entitled to do that, right?
Yes.
Right?
Right.
What you're not entitled to do is to be a sleazebag and to have somebody else on the side for years while these people are in good faith planning a wedding and spending money that you're involved with. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yes, ma'am.
That's almost like fraud. Wouldn't you say so?
No.
What would you say?
Things wasn't working out, and she knew that. We fought a lot. I told her that I wasn't ready.
You had somebody else, sir.
Yes, I did.
You didn't tell her that.
She knew.
She did. You just told me 2 seconds ago that she didn't know.
She had to have known. How can you not?
Is what you're telling me that Beth knew that you had a relation... What's your first name?
Candy.
That Beth knew that you had a relationship with Candy.
She had to have.
What information that you imparted to her would lead her to suspect that you were intimate with someone else? Tell me.
I mean, we never spent time together, really. We didn't talk or nothing. She had to have known.
You mean
always come up with excuses of why I couldn't come see her and that.
So what you're telling me is, I'm going to enjoy this. I didn't think this was just cut and dry,
Yeah,
but
when
you
you
know.
live with
Shh, quiet. This is going to be better than your $200. I want you to trust me on this one. You mean you would make up excuses to her why you couldn't see her? Is that what you just said to me?
Yes, ma'am.
Give me an excuse.
She wanted me to come see her. I told her I had to work.
And when you said, I have to work, you had a job. When you
Right.
told her I have to work, you had a job at the time.
Right.
So what was it that you said that would lead her to suspect that you were lying?
Nothing really. Just told her that I had to work.
Mr. and Mrs. Toda, you're not entitled to any money from him. You planned this wedding. He was not to participate in the cost of the wedding. So there's no basis for your lawsuit. But I want you to feel good about this, Beth, because you found out in time that the man that you were going to invest your life with had a bad character. Now, you can change a lot of things in this world. You can change your nose, you can change your hairstyle, you can change your hair color. The one thing that you can't change is if you have a bad character. He and Candy can deal with his character. Do you understand?
Mm-hmm.
Now, I'm going to look at you for a second. Do you see how easily he said he lied to Beth?
Yes.
I'd watch my back if I were you. Your case is dismissed, that's all.
Parties are calendar in the matter of Perry versus Carlton. Parties have been sworn in, Judge. You may be seated, sir.
Mr. Perry, Miss Carlton, according to you, caused an accident.
That's correct, Your
Caused
Honor.
an accident causing damage to your car and injury to you.
That's correct, Your Honor.
Miss Carlton says that there was a merge, you wouldn't let her in, and once she got in, you accelerated. So the accident was your fault. You really weren't injured at all. You just behaved very badly. So you want to tell me first when this happened?
This occurred on July 26th of 2004, Your Honor.
That's your diagram. I'd like you to show me your car.
My car would be back here, Your Honor.
The red.
The defendant would be the blue car here.
So she was merging in behind a truck and in front of you.
That's correct, Your Honor.
Tell me what happened.
Well, we were proceeding westbound on Main Street, and this lane where you see the defendant is actually not a lane. It is a lane that has been merged into a right turn lane. What happened was she came from about 4 cars back. She decided to come
4
up.
cars back, so she was behind
the
purple car.
She was actually in the left-hand lane about 4 cars back.
And how do you know that?
I saw her in my right rear view mirror.
So she came out of that lane, the same lane that you were in.
That's correct, Your Honor. Came down this center lane, which is blocked off because of construction, ran over this cone here, actually, behind this truck. We were moving at approximately 15 to 20 miles an hour. She then cut in very sharply behind the truck right in front of me, which was only about 5 feet distance. At that point in time, I had no options. I didn't have any reaction time. I ran over her rear end, which caused my right front end to go up over her rear end, causing my car to tilt to the left and then bounce back down.
What kind of car were you driving?
I'm driving a Jeep Cherokee, Your Honor.
And Miss Carlton?
Miss Carlton was driving a little Echo, Toyota Echo.
So your car actually went up on top of hers?
It actually went up on her wheel and came back down, Your Honor.
The whole back of the car?
No,
or
on her left rear quarter panel, where her tire is. It actually went up over it. There
So
were
the
scuff
side.
marks on her left rear quarter panel from my tire.
So the side
Yes.
of her car?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. Great.
At that point, I was thrown over to the side. When the car came back, I jammed my head on the door jamb. At that point, I honked and started honking vigorously. She stuck her hand out the window and waved at me and took off.
Where did she take off?
She took off into this left-hand lane, which proceeded left. At that point, there's an overpass at that point that goes over the freeway. On the other side of the overpass, there's a baker's restaurant. In that restaurant, she finally pulled into the restaurant. I pulled in, blocked her from turning out towards the left to get back on another street. And at that point, she stopped, exited her car, very profoundly said, "What are you doing?" I signaled, "What the are you doing?" And at that point, I asked her for her driver's license, her registration, and proof of insurance. She said, "I'm not giving you anything." At that point, she took a young child, it appeared to be a young male, out of the back seat of the car.
Is that what she said? I'm not giving you anything?
"I'm not giving you anything." And she took this young male, which had not been seatbelted in. There was no car seat in that car. She
How
took
old
him
was
into
the child?
about 4 or 5 years old, Your Honor.
Okay.
She took him into the restaurant, was in there for about 10 minutes. In the meantime, I'm calling the police, reporting what was going on. She comes back out of the restaurant with food and the child. About 10 minutes later, a gentleman shows up, identifies himself as her husband, and proceeds to start cussing at me and yelling at me, and tells me that he's going to kick my and take care of me. And at that point in time, I walked away from them, again calling the police, telling them that this had escalated into an adversary situation and I needed help. We waited for about another 10 to 15 minutes. He talked with the defendant got in her car, and they drove away.
And you got their
The
license.
only thing I was able to get was the license plate off of her car.
So that's how you tracked it down.
I attempted to track it through the DMV, who, through multiple things, they decide you can't do that. They would notify her to notify me, which she had already decided not to give me that information.
Now, according to your complaint, sir, you were injured. I'd like you to tell me how you were injured.
I was having a lot of neck pain. I was having severe headaches. I went to see Dr. Recognized that this was a whiplash injury.
Listen to me. What kind of work do you do, sir?
I'm a chiropractor, Your Honor.
Okay, and who's Dr.
Dr. is a chiropractor.
A colleague of yours?
Yes.
Okay. How many days were you out of work, sir, after the 26th?
I was not out of work, Your Honor.
Good. How much damage did you have done to your car?
About $100 worth of damage.
Do you have
I have the
receipt?
estimates of the damages to my car, Your Honor.
Okay.
Exhibit 3.
Okay. May I see it, please?
Exhibit 3.
Exhibit 3. So this whole thing was $62.31. That was the damage to your car?
The end caps on my bumper and the stabilizer, Your Honor, yes.
Is there anything else other than Exhibit 3?
No, Your Honor.
Okay. You work 5 days a week, sir?
I work 6 days a week, Your Honor.
Okay. And you didn't miss any work?
I didn't miss any work, but I did
Good.
work in pain.
I'm sure your doctor friend was able to help you.
Yes. Yes, very definitely.
Good.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
Did you ask the owner of the restaurant if you could use the phone to call the police?
No.
And if somebody is attacking you, you do that, right?
Right. And I did.
And you didn't. You got hamburger and fries.
No, I didn't.
And later today,
How much was the bail?
$550. I said, can you come and pay it, and I'll pay you at least half of it that day.
You just told me that you had the money. All you had to do
I
was
had
be
half
able
of
to.
the money.
I'm speaking.
Sorry.
Remember what I said to you before? If you tell the truth, you don't have to have a good memory.
real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Dr. Richard Perry claims he was injured due to a car accident caused by Felissa Carlton. Felissa says Richard is a hothead.
All right, Miss Carlton, I want you to tell me what happened, madam.
I proceeded to merge onto the left lane, and I looked over my shoulder. There was plenty of room, so I decided to keep going. And as I was proceeding, I heard an acceleration, and then I felt a slight bump. It didn't seem bad, so that's why I was like, because I was trying to say, it's okay, don't worry about it. But he honked, and he was raging, and so I didn't pull over right away until I got into Baker's, because there was no way I could pull over. We were going over the pass. So when I pulled over, I'm sorry, but he's the one who asked, what the F do you think you're doing? I tried to talk to him. I tried to calm him down. I said, my kids are in the car. And he says, I don't give an F. Who's in the car with you? And I couldn't calm him down. I couldn't talk to him. I couldn't give him any information.
Did he ask you for your license, registration, and insurance?
No, ma'am.
He did not?
No.
That would be odd.
I couldn't talk to him.
No. Miss Carlton, I don't believe that.
I'm sorry.
I don't believe that. All right, sir. You want to step up?
Mm-hmm.
Your wife called you and said she had been in an accident?
Yes, Your Honor.
Were those her exact words?
Well, what happened when she called me, she told me that she was just in an accident, and while she's talking to me, I heard the plaintiff cussing in the background, yelling at my wife, and I tried to get her, explain to me what happened, and she's trying to tell him to calm down, and so she could talk to me. And she said he's acting like a child. He won't exchange information. And I have the kids with me, so I immediately left work and I went to see what was going on.
So why didn't you give him a license, registration, and insurance?
I asked him. I said, "Well, is there anything you'd like to tell me that you were telling my wife?" And he said, "Yeah." He said, "You're an idiot." Well, at that point, I told him in not so many nice
Why didn't you just give him your license, registration, and insurance?
Because my wife had told me she had already tried that.
and he was not cooperating.
Well, why didn't you try it, sir?
Well, at that point, I was there to take care of my wife who was being attacked by an angry man.
He wasn't attacking her when you got there, was he?
He was on the phone when I heard him.
He was not attacking her when you got there, was he?
That's right. No, he was not.
And she had already been in the restaurant with your son.
Right.
Is that right? Gotten food, right?
Yes.
And when you went into the restaurant and you got the food, did you ask the owner of the restaurant if you could use the phone to call the police?
No.
And if somebody is attacking you, if somebody is acting like a lunatic, you do that, right? You say, you call the police and you say, somebody is out there, I'm afraid, right?
Right. And I did.
And you didn't. You got hamburger and fries.
No, I didn't.
Now, you came outside before your husband arrived, correct?
Right.
Right. So if you're really afraid of somebody, if they're behaving like a lunatic, you stay inside the restaurant until either the police arrived, who you didn't call, or your husband arrives. That's just common sense. So I don't believe that you were frightened.
Okay.
I also think, Mr. Perry, that you overreacted. I don't think you make a big deal about something if you have a fender bender. You had a fender bender that cost you $62.31, not $5,000.
The medical expenses are what cost the most. There's about $4,000 in medical expenses, Your Honor.
As far as I'm concerned, Dr. Perry, if you are in so much pain that you have $4,000 worth of medical expenses, you miss 1 day of work.
Unfortunately,
Dr. Perry,
Your Honor,
you know where I'm going
my patients don't quite get to that point.
Listen, Dr. Perry, it's not a question of your patients not getting to that point. If you have $4,000 worth of medical expenses, you can't work, at least for 1 day. So I think that your medical expenses and your pain and suffering are a little bit of who shot John. But you are entitled to the amount of money to have your car fixed. Judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $62.31. That's all.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
I wasn't debilitated to the fact that I could not work.
If he's injured, he's injured.
It was debilitation to the fact that I was suffering pain.
I can't say I don't have his body.
I think he got what he deserved.
She's Judge Judy. She did her job.
And now the next case.
All parties in the matter of Vargo versus Beck. Step forward, please.
Plaintiffs Helga Vargo and her ex-husband, Robert, are suing their former friend, 25-year-old nursing assistant Billy Joe Beck, for the cost of bail when Billy Joe was arrested for outstanding warrants.
Miss Vargo, who's this?
This is my ex-husband.
And this used to be a friend of yours, I gather.
Yes.
And according to your complaint, she called you hysterical one day, that she had been arrested and she needed you to help her out with some bail money.
Yes.
You did, and she didn't pay you back.
Right.
And Miss Beck says, well, she paid you back some, and the rest was a gift. That's your defense.
Right.
What were you arrested for, Miss Beck?
I went to traffic court and I had to pay fines, and I paid partial, and I was supposed to pay the rest back, but I thought I had paid it all off, and I didn't know I got a letter in the mail at my grandmother's house. She had thrown it away, so I never knew that I had a remaining amount, so they put a warrant on my driver's license, and that's why I ended up in jail.
When were you summoned and told to pay fines? In what year?
It was back in 2002.
For what?
Traffic violations.
What kind
Speeding.
of... Speeding. How many times were you caught speeding?
Twice.
Okay, and how much were the fines that the judge imposed?
Total, it came to $550.
How much of the $550 did you pay?
$350 before I moved.
So you knew you had $200 left to pay?
Yeah, I think I did. Yes, I did.
See how easy it is?
Yeah.
There's an old adage. Do you have parents, grandparents?
Yeah.
They'll tell you something, and it's a very good thing to live by. If you tell the truth, you don't have to have a good memory.
Right.
Now, did you expect the court in Ohio to send you a second or third invitation to pay the other $200?
I was supposed to get another letter to appear back in court, and I never got it. To pay back the rest, because I was...
So you expected another invitation.
Right.
You expected
I
them
was supposed to get another
re-invite you to come in.
I guess you could say that.
Good. So now you're arrested, and you were stopped for something, I assume, which is how they...
No, I was across the street where my nursing home is, a convenience store, and the cop had pulled in, ran my plate, and when I was coming back, he pulled us over in the parking lot.
Why would a cop just run your plate?
I asked him that.
And he
said,
said,
being 2 o'clock in the morning, normally people that are at a convenience store are there to rob them. I'm like, I'm in my scrubs. I'm not going to rob anybody. You've seen me come back to work. And he's like, that don't make a difference.
So he ran your plate and found that there was a warrant for you.
Correct.
How much was the bail?
total with the warrant fee and everything, it came back to $550.
So you called Miss Vargo.
Right, because they wouldn't let me leave to go get the money to pay them.
Sounds right to me. So that suggests to me that if they allowed you to leave, you had the money.
Right.
Is that what you're telling me?
I had the means to go get it, but they wouldn't let me leave to go get it, to bring it back.
What kind of means did you have, Miss Beck, to go get it?
Check cashing.
So you could have gotten that quickly.
Yeah.
Good. So then you called Miss Vargo, and you must have said to her...
I asked her, I said, they're not going to let me leave until I pay this off. I said, can you come and pay it, and I'll pay you at least half of it that day. I actually paid her the next day. And I said, I'm not going to be able to pay you the rest because the money that I'm getting it from is a check cashing place, so I won't be able to pay you back the rest. And she said that was fine.
You just told me that you had the money. All you had to do
I
was
had
be
half
able
of
to...
the money.
I'm speaking.
Sorry.
Remember what I said to you before? If you tell the truth, you don't have to have a good memory. You just told me you had the money to pay the $550, but they wouldn't let you leave.
Right.
Then you called her and you told her a lie. You said, I'll be able to only pay you half.
I wouldn't have been to pay the court all of it. I would have been able to pay them half that day, and then...
They don't want half. They don't trust you.
I know. That's why I couldn't pay it.
All right. Now that I've tortured her sufficiently to satisfy me, Miss Vargo, you allowed her to write out this $550 on a credit card, and the credit card, unfortunately, belonged to your ex-husband.
To both of us. It was a joint account.
But he started to get the bills.
Right.
Which made you very unhappy.
Yes.
You have a copy of the bill?
Yes, I do.
Let me see.
It's a copy of the bill and what it's now accrued to with interest and late charges.
Okay. Now, do you have a check? You say you gave her some money?
Right.
Can I see the check where you gave her some money?
I have the whole thing from the check cashing place.
She give you a check for $300?
No. I gave her cash because they cashed the check right there in the check cashing office.
When did you give her cash?
The next day, because I couldn't get it that day because the place had already closed, so that next day I went and got it, and I gave it to her as soon as her daughter came home from school. I gave her $300 on the first, and then 2 weeks later gave her $50.
You have a copy of that money?
No, because that was an extra $50 from my paycheck.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't think I'd have to get a receipt from her, but I guess I should have.
All right. Did you get the bill, sir, right away from...
No, I knew nothing of this until September. This happened in March. I just found out about it in September. And that's
How
when
did you find out about it?
My ex-wife finally told me. Finally.
She got the $300. I don't know about the 50, but I know she got the 300 that she didn't tell you about.
Okay.
She figured she was going to stiff you, or that maybe it would just go away. But she got the $300. Still have a balance of $352 that's left, which, Miss Beck, you say was a gift. Is that right?
Yes, because I told
Well,
her...
explain to me why Miss Vargo would make a gift to you of the rest of your bail.
I asked her from the beginning. I said, I'd be able to pay you half, but the rest I'm not going to be able to come up with because you know I don't make that much money, because she was working with me at the time. She said, that's fine. Then she started, like, a month later, she got fired from our work, and that's when she started calling me and bugging me for the money.
You know, it's so difficult when both people are not telling me the truth to have to sort out who's the biggest liar. It's really so hard to figure out who's the biggest liar is. The only one I know who isn't lying is him. Miss Beck, there isn't a reason for Miss Vargo to make you a gift of this money. You have a history, based upon your own statements, of trying to squirrel out of your responsibility. You tried to do it with the court. You tried to do it with her. In any event, I believe that you gave her back $300. You still owe $352.
On the calendar in the matter of Berry versus Hayden Jr. Parties have been sworn in, Judge. You may be seated.
Miss Berry, Mr. Hayden was your live-in boyfriend until
Yes,
a while
ma'am.
back, and according to your complaint, he took your car without permission one day, drove it. You don't know what happened, but he says he fell asleep at the wheel and he totaled your car. You want the value of that car because you say you were forced to purchase another car, and your monthly payments have, of course, increased as a result of purchasing the new car.
Yes, ma'am.
Mr. Hayden says that he had an agreement with you.
Yes,
Is that
ma'am.
right?
Yes.
And that he doesn't owe you anything for the new car. So he's going to tell me all about that agreement in a moment, and I am anxiously awaiting to hear the details of it.
Me too.
Good. We'll all wait together. When did you live with Mr. Hayden, Miss Berry?
I lived with them for about 3 months from at the end of December until about the end of February.
Had you known him for a while before he moved in with you?
We used to go to high school together.
What prompted you to move in together?
I was conned into it. John is a very good con artist.
How were you conned into it?
He figured that we could help each other out by, he didn't have anywhere to stay at that time, and he was working and that he could help me with my bills, and that's not how it happened.
So he moved into your apartment?
Yes, ma'am, just like that. Conned his way right in.
When did he take your car and total it?
It was on February 11th.
Tell me about that, Mr. Hayden.
Well, I did have permission to drive the car. I drove the
Your
car.
Honor.
I had my own set of keys. I drove the car on several occasions. And
Okay, tell me about February 11th, sir.
February 11th, I woke up like I normally did and went to my where I have to go.
Just a second. Oh, shh, listen to me. February 11th, Judge, I woke up at...
Judge, I woke up...
No, look at me. Here.
I woke up around 7 o'clock, 6 o'clock.
And you got out of bed?
Yes, ma'am.
Excuse me.
I don't want to hear you yet. He's talking. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
You got out of?
I got out of bed.
And who was in bed with you? Look at me. Eyes.
The plaintiff.
Are you sure? Don't speak. Remember what day of the week it was, sir?
It was probably around the end of the week.
Are you sure about that?
As sure as I can be.
What do you mean as sure as you can be?
Because,
Mr. Hayden, I assume you work, right?
I did work until probably 2 weeks ago.
Fine. You were working on February 11th because
Yes.
you started to say to me before, I got up my usual time and I was going to do usual things, so I assume you got up 6 or 7 o'clock in the morning because you were going to...
To my rehabilitation.
What kind of rehabilitation, sir? Is not an answer.
Well, I'd rather not go into it.
Well, you have to tell me, sir, what you were doing, because I'm going to ask you specific questions, and I don't give a rat's behind what you prefer not to go into. Put your hand down.
I was going to get my treatment for my methadone.
Okay, so you were going to your methadone program.
Yes.
I've heard that before, sir. You know, I've been a judge for a long time. You have a morning methadone program?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. And where had you been the night before, sir?
At home.
All night?
Yes, ma'am.
So you got up 6 or 7 o'clock to go and get your methadone at the program. And you were, in fact, working. So where were you working?
At Uno's Pizzeria on Beachmont Avenue.
What time do they open?
Around 11 o'clock.
What time do you do at your methadone program?
Anywhere between 6 and...
Look at my eyes.
10.
So what were you doing getting up at 6 o'clock, sir, when you didn't have to be at the pizza place until 11?
Because sometimes I go in early so I can get a few extra hours in.
Good. So you were being conscientious.
Yes, I worked 3 doubles a week plus the other days that I worked. I worked 6 days a week. 3 of them were doubles and 3 of them were regular days.
All right. So you got up between 6 and 7. And you had your own set of keys to the car. You got into the car. And what happened, Mr. Hayden?
I was traveling on my way to the clinic, and I fell asleep at the wheel.
Well, according to you, you'd been home the whole night before. Well, how come you fell asleep at the wheel?
Well, not real sure. I've had problems in the past with driving, falling asleep.
How many times in the past have you had problems driving?
Well, I've never actually wrecked from it, but, you know, I've had several close calls.
And when was that?
Years past.
Not when you were with Miss Berry?
No.
Did you ever tell Miss Berry before she gave you permission to use the car according to you and gave you your own set of keys to the car that you've had near misses with falling asleep at the wheel?
I'm sure she was aware.
No, I didn't ask you that question, Mr. Hayden, and I want you to trust me, sir. On your best day, you're not as smart as I am on my worst day. Did you ever tell her that you had near misses of falling asleep at the wheel of a car?
I'm not sure.
Good, that's an answer. Did he ever tell you that?
No, ma'am.
Of course not. Now, was this Miss Berry's only means of transportation, or did she have a garage full of cars?
She had 2 vehicles.
Tell me about the 2 vehicles that she had.
One was a Taurus and the Civic.
And which car were you driving?
The Civic.
Is that the car you were driving, the Taurus?
No, ma'am. That I had a 95 Taurus that had been broken down for a couple months. My only means of transportation was the Honda Civic.
Okay, Miss Berry, tell me about the 10th of February, which was the day before this incident happened.
The 10th of February, ma'am, I was getting tired of being in this little relationship with John because he wasn't working like he said he was. And I had asked him that, you know, pretty soon you need to find somewhere to go. You need to, you know, go live off somebody else. So he had called me from work and asked me to come home so that we could talk about it. And when I got home, about 11 or 12, and John was already drunk and nodding out, because that's one thing that I couldn't stand about him, is that he would always nod out, and he's burnt my furniture on the floor. So anyways, he slept on the couch that night. I slept in the bed. I woke up the next morning. My keys are gone. I always leave my purse next to my bed. I always take my purse everywhere I go. The keys were gone. I got a phone call about 11 from an officer stating that John Hayden was in the hospital, that he had totaled my car. So I called down to the hospital, and John just acted like everything would be all right, that he totaled my car.
So what you're saying is he had driven your car before. There's no question about that. Is that right?
Yes, but he did not have an extra set of keys.
But he had driven your car before, with your permission.
Not with my permission. I would get up in the morning and he would take it.
Well, then what you have to do is you change the locks and you put him out of your house.
That's too much.
Shh. You change the locks, you put him out of your house if he's stealing your car.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
You don't do that if you're a responsible parent of a 5-year-old.
She's not a responsible parent.
No, and you're a model citizen.
At least I just use, I don't sell.
And later today,
for her receipts that day, there were 18 meals that there were no drinks charged on.
She said she forgot.
Right, but 180 times she didn't forget to take her tips home.
Right.
She forgot to charge for sodas.
Maybe she's just lazy.
real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Bree Berry says ex-boyfriend John Hayden Jr. totaled her car. John says he fell asleep at the wheel on his way to a methadone clinic.
Now there is something that you're going to tell me that would suggest that you had an agreement with her with regard to a new car. So why don't you tell me about that?
After the car was totaled, we agreed that if she was able to get a new car, with which she had no job except for about 2 or 3 weeks.
That's a lie.
So
it doesn't matter if I work or not.
Miss Berry, what part of don't speak don't you understand?
I'm sorry.
Good.
When you're on welfare, you can barely...
Oh, my...
I'm not asking you what she did. I'm asking you what your agreement was.
You can barely make your rent anyway. If it wasn't for me co-signing, she could have never got the car to begin with.
My mama...
Miss Berry, if you open your mouth again, I'm going to dismiss your claim. You don't want that, do you?
No.
And I'm serious, you know. I don't say things and then take it back. Do you understand?
I understand.
Well, I want you to tell me the conversation that you had with Miss Berry, sir, with regard to your co-signing a loan for her.
I said, you put down the money you have as a down payment, and then I'll put down what I have, and if they let it go through with both of us being, with me being the co-signer, then you will have your car, and you will go from there.
Did she own the Civic free and clear?
I do not know.
As far as you know, she wasn't making payments because according to you, Miss Berry was on welfare. She could hardly make the rent.
Exactly.
So she wasn't making car payments. So what you're telling me is she took whatever little money she had, and you put in money. And how much money did you put in?
Probably $100.
And you put in $100. And then you co-signed a loan for her so that she could buy a new used car.
Yes.
And how much was the loan for?
About $8,000.
So what you're telling me is because you totaled her car, you obligated her to pay $8,000 for a vehicle to do whatever she had to do with it. Is that what you're telling me?
No.
Then tell me what you're telling me, Mr. Hayden. I'm listening.
I would have been more than happy to stay there with her and be, and help her make her car payments, but she cheated on me. When I called her before I came home because I couldn't get a hold of her one day, and she said, well, an ex-boyfriend of mine spent the night tonight, and I don't want you to come here trying to cause any problems. Granted, this is where I was living, paying bills, giving her money. I make about $500 or $600 a week, and, I just would give her money.
If you had, sir, $500 or $600 a week, why don't you get your own car?
Because I don't have a license.
So, Mr. Hayden, so you took her car and drove her car without a license?
I didn't know that at the time. I have an $80 reinstatement fee to pay, which I'm going through now.
Mr. Hayden, You got more stories than Damon Runyon. The fact that you tell me that I gave her $100 towards the car. Did he give you $100 towards the car?
ma'am.
No, of course he didn't.
Oh, you're right. I couldn't even pay.
Of course he didn't.
I had
Give
to
you
pay
shh. What year car was this?
A 93.
Do you have the blue book value of it?
Yes, ma'am.
May I see it, please?
Would you like to see all the evidence or just that?
I'd like to see whatever you have, Miss Berry.
And I don't live in Section 8.
You move people in and out all the time.
Oh, goodness.
Ooh, this looks like some bad accident. What did you hit?
A telephone pole. And you know, she didn't call to see if I was okay. She called to see if her car was okay.
That should have told you something, Mr.
Yeah, it
Hayden. Should have.
Yeah, she's self-centered, and karma will get her.
Car was more important than you were.
Exactly.
Right.
And that's the way it's always been with, you know, that's what her psychiatrist tells her.
Judge Judy will continue in a moment. And later today.
So you look at that face and you see what?
I see charming, sweet, lovely Amanda.
But when you look at that face, you say she's a thief.
Not looking at the face, but looking at the proof, I believe she's running a little scam on me.
Bree Berry says ex-boyfriend John Hayden Jr. totaled her car. John says he fell asleep at the wheel on his way to a methadone clinic.
Mr. Hayden, let me tell you something. I don't find necessarily that the plaintiff's behavior is appropriate. I am assuming that you are now involved with somebody else?
Yes, ma'am. I was in drug use.
No, listen to me. I assume, at least in part, it was because of somebody else. Part of it may be because of his continued drug use, according to you.
Yes, ma'am.
Whatever. That is not a testament to your good judgment.
It's a bad judgment I made.
No, very bad. And I don't care whether you're exercising bad judgment if you're the only one involved, but you have a 5-year-old child. And you don't move somebody into your house for 1 hour who you claim is getting his methadone, but using in addition to that.
That's why I got rid of him.
Just a second. That's not true, madam, because according to you, after he came out of the hospital, you allowed him to move back into your home for a month. Right?
Yes, ma'am.
Right. And you don't do that if you're a responsible parent of a 5-year-old. You understand me?
Yes,
ma'am. Good.
She's not a responsible parent.
No, and you're a model citizen.
More than her.
Okay.
At least I just use, I don't sell.
That may be, sir, but you still owe her $2,500 for the car. Judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $2,500.
Parties are excused.
Step out.
You may step
Bird,
out.
he can have his water later, please.
John Hayden is a good con artist.
I could really care less.
Anybody that John owes money to,
She's wrong.
you should take him on the Judge Judy show
Bree's a liar.
so you can get your money also.
This is over.
And now the next case.
All parties in the matter of McGinnis versus Carter. Step forward, please.
Restaurant owner Michael McGinnis is suing his former employee, 20-year-old student Amanda Carter, for stealing 180 sodas.
Mr. McGinnis, you own a restaurant, and the defendant was an employee of yours. She worked as a waitress. Your complaint is rather unique, sir. It is your claim that while she was employed by you, when she wrote out checks, she did not charge customers for sodas. According to you, based upon your calculations, approximately 180 sodas were not charged because you believe that it's impossible for people to have ordered that many meals without ordering a drink. And therefore, you claim that Miss Carter stole from you and you want her to reimburse you in the amount of $315. Right?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. When did you start to work for Mr. McGinnis, Miss Carter?
The beginning of December.
And how long did you work for him?
I worked for him for 4 months.
What kind of restaurant is it?
It's a sports bar.
Is this your first job as a waitress?
No, it's not.
How old are you?
I'm 20 years old.
All right. So, Mr. McGinnis, tell me what makes you think that Miss Carter stole from you.
My wife and I, Your Honor, went to a food show. We returned from the food show, and my wife checked receipts. And for her receipts that day, there were 18 meals that there were no drinks charged on.
Okay.
So the day before that, there were no drinks charged that day. But our policy is all meals, you charge drinks. I asked Amanda, why were there no drinks charged on the meals? And her reply was, I forgot.
She forgot to charge them?
She forgot to charge them.
Okay.
But the only thing that the server can get to themselves are sodas, chips and salsa. Everything else they have to order through the screen. But I just can't believe, Your Honor, that individuals are choking down cheeseburgers and nachos and burritos without drinking anything.
Oh, she already told you. She said she forgot.
She forgot to charge.
Yeah, that's what she said. She said she forgot.
Right. But 180 times, she didn't forget to take her tips home. She didn't forget to pick up her check.
Right.
She forgot to charge for sodas time after time.
When you do a check, how is the bill generated?
It's generated without the drink.
So the cost of the food itself comes off the computer.
Yes.
And then the server has to take an additional step before they add up the bill and add on 4 drinks,
Yes.
and then you total it.
Yes, Your Honor.
So she said to you, I forgot.
Yes.
And she's just lazy. Well, what do you think she was doing? You think she was serving these drinks and drinking them all herself?
No, Your Honor. I believe that she was serving the drinks and possibly telling the patron that she was buying the drinks for them in order to get a better tip.
That's a possibility. It's also a possibility she forgot, right?
I don't think so, Your Honor.
It's also, well, it's a possibility. It's just as possible as the scenario that you proposed, that she told all these 18 people on one day, I'm not charging you for drinks, you can add it to my tip, right?
Yes.
It's just as possible as that. You would prefer that I believe she's a thief.
Yes, I believe so.
So you look at that face and you see why?
I see charming, sweet, lovely
Yeah.
Amanda, very personable.
No, I'm asking you, but when you look at that face, you say she's a thief.
Well, not looking at the face, but looking at the proof, I believe she's running a little scam on me.
You didn't charge for the drinks, Amanda. How come you didn't charge for the drinks?
I didn't charge for the drinks because they simply weren't ordered. The bar area is first when you come into the restaurant, and many people came into the bar and bought their beer and their mixed drinks and such and purchased them from the bartenders and then made their way into the dining area where there are TVs where people like to come in and watch sports.
All right, but it's also possible, Amanda, that occasionally you let slip by
Oh, yeah,
certain drinks
definitely.
and didn't put it on the bill, right?
Yeah.
So that's a possibility.
Very big possibility, yes.
Do you ever tell people, listen, I'm not going to charge you for the sodas, so you could add it to my tip?
No, I've never done that.
Now, I can understand. You said to me, Amanda served those drinks, and she got the money for it and pocketed the money, and therefore she's a thief. But you're not saying that. You're saying that you choose to believe that instead of being forgetful, stupid, you know, she's a criminal, a thief. She stole money from you. And I don't buy that, Mr. McGinnis. I think that that's a very nasty thing to think about. What is? Are you on medication?
Am I on my medication?
Are
Your
you
Honor?
on any medication, sir? I'm wondering why you've got this grin on your face that seemed plastered onto your face. Case is dismissed, that's all.
Parties are excused. This is case number 468 on the calendar in the matter of Hanson versus Carney.
Thank you.
You're welcome, Judge. Parties have been sworn in. You may be seated. Folks, have a seat.
Ms. Hanson, it is your claim that Miss Carney assaulted you at a party. It was a Halloween party, and it was being held at some firehouse?
Yes,
A
fire
firehouse.
department.
Adults were there, young people were there. Your parents were there?
Yes.
Were your parents there?
No.
Oh, okay. Now, Miss Carney, your defense is that, yes, you did, in fact, hit her, but she started it.
Yes.
So since you acknowledge that there was a physical altercation, I'm going to let you tell me what happened.
Okay. I had walked it since the moment I walked in. The first time I saw her, she had called me when I walked by.
I assume you knew her from before?
Yes.
From when before?
A long time ago, like 6 years ago, probably.
Had you seen her in those 6 years?
I don't think so.
What time did you get to this Halloween party?
I have no idea. Probably 9 or so, I don't know.
Was this person with you?
Yes.
What time did you get to the party?
It was at 9.
Okay. So you say you passed her by and she called you a name. Keep going.
Okay, and so we kind of ignored it and we were sitting at a table.
Not we. I don't want to hear
Okay.
about the we.
Sorry. Okay.
She didn't call anybody else a name. She called you a name.
Yes. Okay, and then we passed by before we went in the bathroom and she...
Who's we?
Me and 2 other friends. And then by the time we got into the bathroom, we had had an altercation. She called me...
No. Listen to me very carefully. And don't look down there. You look here.
Okay.
She called you a name. You ignored it. Sat down. You and your friends went to the bathroom. As you were going to the bathroom, did she say something else to you?
Well, actually, we were going to the other room, which the bathroom is in a hallway, and we're going through the hallway to a different room. And she had said some other things. I don't remember exactly what it was, though.
Directed to you?
Yes.
Okay, and you kept walking. Keep going.
And then a few minutes later, we went into the bathroom, and her friend were in there. And
Okay, so when you got into the bathroom, she was there. Who had to use the restroom?
We went in to do our makeup, actually.
So nobody had to use the restroom?
No.
And when you got into the restroom, the plaintiff was there. She was there with anyone else?
With her friend, I believe.
That would be you. Go ahead.
Okay, and so
Don't
we...
look down. I'm not
sorry.
interested in looking down. I'm interested in looking here.
Okay. And so we had had an altercation. She was saying
Don't
that
tell
I
me
was-
altercation. Altercation is a conclusion. I want you to tell me what happened when you got to the bathroom.
Okay.
She was there already.
Yes.
What was she doing when you walked in?
Standing there. I don't know exactly what she went in the bathroom to do.
What was she doing when you walked in?
She was just standing there. She wasn't doing
She
anything.
was standing in the bathroom.
Yes, she was standing
near
in the
the
bathroom.
sink.
Yeah, well, it's kind of small, so yeah, near the sink, I guess you could say.
And what happened?
Okay, and I walked in there and she said, "Oh, you must have not heard me." And I said, "Yeah, I did hear you." And then we just got into this argument about my ex-boyfriend.
No. You must have not heard me.
Okay.
Yes, I heard you. She said, you said, come on.
She was saying how my boyfriend liked her and wanted her and I was nothing to him, blah, 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 blah.
You mean you're talking about 6 years ago?
Exactly, yes, 6 years
Okay.
ago.
Go ahead.
And so I just said, "You could have him if you want him. He's not mine anymore, blah, blah, blah." And then she was just on and on about how much he wanted her, blah, blah, blah. So it made me mad, so I threw my water at her out of my cup. And so she started to come towards me. I hit her. She pulled onto my hair, and then her dad came into the bathroom and grabbed me out and said, "You can either go out in cuffs or you can go out yourself." So I said, "Okay, I'm going out myself." Went outside with Whitney, and she came running out and pushed me and said, "Oh, it's all right, Danielle, I got her," and ran back into the bathroom. And so when we left, we went down to our car, and her dad walked by and said, "Oh, just remember, little girl, this isn't over yet." So I was like, okay. And they drove by about probably 10 minutes later, right before we were leaving, and they were calling me and stuff when they were driving by. So
that has nothing to do with the assault.
Okay.
You
well,
assaulted
asked what
her.
happened, so I told you.
You assaulted her.
Okay.
What part didn't you understand that you assaulted her? You can't throw water on her. Okay. That's an assault. And let's go through it very slowly. Remember, you don't have to have a good memory if you tell the truth. You threw water on her, and then what happened?
And then she came at me, so
then she came towards you.
Okay.
And then you hit her,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
Where did you hit her?
Her face, I think.
You can't do that. Okay. Is that what happened?
No, it's not what happened at all.
So I've just heard a whitewashed version of what happened?
Yes.
Why don't you tell me what happened?
Okay.
This is bad enough.
Yeah. It was about 10:30 at night on October 25th, and I had not seen her that whole night. I didn't know she was there. Me and Ashley went into the bathroom to go to the bathroom, and about 30 seconds to a minute later, she comes in with two of her friends. And I say, "Hi, Brenda." She goes, "Why are you saying hi to me?" I said, "Because I was just trying to be nice." She replies, "Why, because you my boyfriend?" And I said, "No, I didn't have sex with your boyfriend." She comments about my chin, insults me, so I say something about her hair. I walk towards the restroom, turn my face, and she hits me in my eye. And I have pictures to prove it.
What about the water? Didn't she throw water?
She didn't throw water on me. She hit me once. I kneeled down. I come back up and I pulled her hair. She hit me again in the same eye. I let go of her hair, I grab my face, and my friend Ashley pulls me into the stall. And I hear my dad's voice. He comes in to the bathroom and I hear him. So I open the stall and he says 3 times to her, "You need to get out of the bathroom. You need to leave the bathroom." And as they are leaving the bathroom, her friend turns around, throws her drink on my face, into my eye.
Which friend?
I don't remember.
Which friend?
Don't remember.
Which friend?
Which friend it was?
Don't speak!
Okay.
Which friend?
It was our friend Brianna.
That was.
I love it when it all.
Shut up. Okay.
I gave you an opportunity to speak first, right? Everybody else was quiet.
Yes.
If I had let you answer the question, you would have said nobody threw a drink at her. That's why I asked her. Okay. Because then I got an honest answer.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Danielle Hansen says Brenda Carney assaulted her in the restroom during a Halloween party. Brenda claims that Danielle was the aggressor.
Okay. You have medical bills?
Yes.
I'd like to see them, please. What do you do for a living, Miss Carney?
I'm a waitress.
Where?
At Buffalo Hill Cafe in Georgetown.
How long have you been there?
About 6 years, 5 or 6 years.
Who do you live with?
I live with my mom.
Anybody else?
My dad and my brothers.
How come you didn't have her arrested? I would have had her arrested.
Your Honor, I'm Steve Hampson. I'm her dad. We did call the police. The first 2 sheriffs that did show up, interviewed my daughter, and had to go to the hotel to get the defendant out of the bar. They took her statement. A third sheriff arrived and basically took over the whole situation. We felt it was kind of biased because the sheriff knew the family.
I assumed somebody knew a family.
Yeah.
Can I say something?
I assumed somebody knew a family.
No.
I assumed somebody called somebody who knew a family.
We didn't know any of the sheriffs that were there that night.
I didn't say you.
Okay, I'm just letting you know we had no idea who they were, so.
I didn't say you.
Okay.
Family, I said.
Or my family?
No, I don't believe that at all. Because with this kind of injury, I just found out the story. I asked you what happened. You acknowledged that you assaulted her. I assume you said the same thing to the sheriff who came. I assume you did because you told me that you assaulted her. So I don't understand, if you assaulted her and caused her physical injury, why you weren't arrested unless somebody knew something. Unless somebody knew somebody. Certainly pleased that you're working, my darling. Judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $5,000. That's all.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
I wanted to go to the bathroom. I needed to go to the bathroom. I turned my head and she hit me.
She was very upset, holding her face. You know, it was pretty obvious that she had been assaulted.
If someone just says, hi, how are you, what would give me the reason to punch him in the face?
I didn't do anything to her.
She had just said that she wished I wasn't wearing the same costume as her.
We were wearing the same costume. I think she was just a little mad because I looked better in mine.
Not sound biased, but yes, my daughter did look a lot better in the costume.
Get over small stuff.
Well, I'll never hit anyone again. That's for sure.
And now the next case.
All parties in the matter of Morris versus Morones, step forward, please.
19-year-old Pura Morris is suing her co-worker, Felicia Morones, for borrowing her Toyota Camry and wrecking it.
Miss Morris, the defendant borrowed your car.
Yes.
You were co-workers?
Yes.
And she totaled the car. You want her to pay for the car because while you had liability insurance on the car, you didn't have collision insurance on the car.
Yes, ma'am.
And the defendant says that the accident was not her fault, and therefore she's not responsible for the damage. Is that right?
Right.
Okay. When did you borrow her car?
In the first couple of weeks of November.
When did you borrow your car?
November 8th.
See, when you lose property that you pay for, you remember the date that you lose it.
Right.
When you don't pay for property, you don't even remember the date that you lost the property.
Well,
November 8th. Tell me under what circumstances she borrowed the car.
It was about 1:30 and she was getting off a couple hours before I did, and she wanted...
Where do you work?
Taco Bell as my second job. She got off about 1:30 and I was supposed to close to be getting off at 4, and she had asked to borrow the car. And I really didn't want to give it to her at first.
I don't care whether you wanted to give it to her or not. I want to know what you said to her and what she said to you.
She asked to borrow the car. She said she was going to go check and see who was at a club, and I told her she could not borrow my car if she was going to be drinking. She said, okay, well, then I'll just go home. And when I got off, she was supposed to come back up there and bring the car to me. And under them circumstances, she could borrow the car. I didn't want her to walk home at 1:30 in the morning. It's a bad part of town.
Well, if you hadn't lent her the car, how did you intend to get home?
well, I have my husband to pick me up. He would come pick me up if I called him. She offered.
Just answer my question. When you didn't borrow her car,
Right.
how did you get home at 1:30 in the morning?
My manager, or like I would call somebody to come, you know, pick me
At
up.
1:30 in the morning?
Yes.
Like who?
My kid's dad or the manager. She would clock out and take me home if I needed.
Go ahead.
She had kept asking to borrow the car, and so finally I said, all right, well, just pick me up when it's over.
What kind of car did you have?
A 98 Toyota Camry.
And this Taco Bell job is your second job?
Yes, ma'am.
What's your first job?
I work at a doctor's office.
Where's your husband to?
He's a medical assistant.
Saving up some money?
Kind of. We just bought a house, so it's pretty much, we saved up to buy the house, and then we found out that it went through, and
How much money had you saved, Miss Morris?
A little over $2,000.
How long did it take you?
Month and a half, about 2 months.
So you work a lot?
Yes, ma'am.
What about your husband? Does he work a lot?
Yes, ma'am.
Who do you live with?
With my husband.
What does he do for a living?
He makes printing ink.
Okay. So you borrowed her car?
She offered her car.
I don't care whether she offered it or not. You borrowed her car. How old are you?
32.
You borrowed her car. You have a problem? You want me to give you the definition of borrow?
No, I know the definition.
Good. You borrowed her car.
Okay.
And what happened?
Well, I was at work and I was getting off early.
I heard that already. You were getting off early and you wanted to go home. And you didn't want to call your manager.
Well,
or
I
the
didn't want to
father
go
of your
home. I told her I
children.
wanted to go out.
You wanted to go out?
Yes. To
How
a
old are your
club.
children?
At home with their father.
How old are they, I said?
How old? From 16 to 5.
So you wanted to go out to a club. For what?
To have a couple of drinks.
With whom?
With just myself and whoever friends I saw there.
What about going home to your husband and children?
Well, I mean, occasionally I'll like go, you know, out with friends and we'll, you know, go out, drink or whatever. So.
You borrowed the. Did you steal the car?
No, I did not.
Look, all right. Let's try to make this simple, even for you. Did you buy the car?
No.
Did you steal the car?
No.
Did you have possession of the car?
Yes.
Didn't steal it, and you didn't buy it.
So
then you borrowed it.
Okay.
She didn't lose it. She didn't sell it. She loaned it to you.
Right.
You borrowed it from her. Now do you understand?
Yes.
Perfect. So tell me what happened to the car.
Okay, I was coming from the club because they were already closed. So I was just in the parking lot, so I just got back in the car, and then I took off, and then I was on the way to go home to change my clothes.
Change your clothes to do what?
Because I had on my Taco Bell uniform.
So what were you changing into?
I was going to go change like into some jeans and a t-shirt, and then because she didn't have to get off till 4. And then when I was driving, a truck is coming towards my way on the other side. So then he decides to get in my lane, and I'm thinking he's going to move, and then he doesn't. So it's either I have a head-on collision, or what I did is I swerved, and when I swerved, there was like a ditch there with a little like boulder thing, and I like hit the boulder thing, and like when I did, it had like I could hear it like scrape the whole bottom of the car, and I went into like a little ditch where there was trees and stuff. So
did you call the police?
No, I did not.
Why not?
Because the car started back up after the airplanes.
Well, you
the
just
airbags
heard,
deployed.
you were just in almost a terrible accident. You heard that the car was damaged by hitting the underside of the car. A truck caused that damage, according to you. Truck caused that damage because it was traveling the wrong way on a highway. It was in your lane.
Not on a highway.
On a street.
On a street, yes.
It was going the wrong way in your lane on a street. So traveling in a very hazardous way, causing your accident. Why didn't you call the police?
Well,
how
I
about
didn't.
because I didn't have a license?
Right.
How about that?
Because I didn't have a license.
That would be an answer. Why did you take possession of her car without...
She was aware of
I'm
that.
speaking. Don't tell me what she was aware of. Why did a 32-year-old woman take possession of a car, drive a car without a license? Why?
Just, I don't know, just because I just did.
Well, then you pay for it. Can I get the book value of this car, please? 1998 Toyota
Camry.
Camry.
She willingly handed the keys over to me, though.
You're a fool. Let me tell you all the things that you said to me today that suggest to me that you're a fool. First, that you had no responsibility because she offered you the car. Second, that you think that I believe that someone else caused this accident, despite the fact that you took the car, went to a club 1:30 in the morning, instead of going home after a shift of work to be with your husband, because you used that word loosely, because you at first said the father of my children would come and pick me up. Then you said husband. So somebody is home with your kids while you're out clubbing. That makes you a fool. The next thing that you say is a fool is that she's responsible because she handed over the keys to you. That makes you a fool. Only a fool takes a car to drive it. I'm speaking on a public street without a license, who's 32 years old, who has a child as old as 16. If your child who was 16 who doesn't have a license takes a car and drives it on the street, he'll wind up in jail. That's where you should have been. At the price.
1998 Camry.
Yeah, good condition.
Private party, $5,100.
Judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $5,000. That's all.
It's case number 586 on the calendar in the matter of Garza versus Palacios. You're welcome, Judge. Parties have been sworn in. You may be seated. Folks, have a seat, please.
Mr. and Mrs. Garza, is this your granddaughter?
Yes, ma'am.
Step up, please. Who's going to speak? Then you can sit. I know that you're going to be very happy. I'm going to let you sit down.
Thank you.
See how happy he is? Look, he says, I'm off the hook. I'm sitting down. Nobody's going to ask me a question. I can sit here and relax. Is that right?
Yes, ma'am.
Good. Mrs. Garza, you are the owner of an automobile.
Yes, ma'am.
And you allowed your granddaughter to borrow your automobile. And when you got your automobile back, it was severely damaged And it is your claim that that's as a result of this young lady driving the car while intoxicated and having a couple of accidents causing the car to be impounded. You want her to pay for the damage.
Right.
But you have no first-hand knowledge of this other than the fact that you gave permission to your granddaughter
to use the truck.
To use the car.
It's a truck.
It's a truck? What kind of a truck is it?
It's a Dodge Ram.
And when did you give your granddaughter permission to use it?
On the 13th of August.
Had she had possession of the car? Was she regularly driving the car?
She lives with us, so she runs errands and she does her thing in the car. Yeah.
I see. Do you want to sit down next to your husband? Because now I've answered the questions that I have except for the damages and what they...
Oh, okay.
So why don't you sit down next to your husband? What's your first name?
Jessica.
How old are you?
I'm 19.
Do you work?
No, I don't.
What do you do?
I'm a student.
You said that... I'm a student. Where are you a student?
I'm going to a GED program right now.
When did you start?
I've been there for a few months already.
What did you do before that?
I just was at home.
Who else lives in your grandparents' house other than you?
My son.
So that's what you were doing. How old is your son?
He's 4.
Your grandmother let you borrow the truck on August 13th to do what?
I was just going to use it, go out.
Where was your son?
He was at home with my grandparents.
You were going to use it to go out where?
To go party.
What time?
I'm not sure what time it was.
Give me an approximation.
It was probably 7 in the afternoon.
7 o'clock is usually referred to as the evening.
Oh, in the evening. I'm sorry.
How did she get possession of the truck?
I went to go pick her up.
She a friend of yours?
She's my cousin.
Where were you going?
To another friend's house.
For what?
Just to go hang out.
Name of the friend?
I don't know whose
hard questions are going to follow. These are easy questions.
Well, we went to go pick up Andrew at his friend's house, and that's where it was at. That's where we were at.
Andrew. Who was he? I know that that's who you are, but who are you in relation? Is he your friend? Your boyfriend?
He's just a friend.
Okay, so in the early evening, Jessica gets in the truck, leaves her 4-year-old responsibility with her grandparents, which I assume is the standard operating procedure in the house, so she could go hang out and have a party. She picks you up. How did you get possession of the truck?
My understanding, it was about like 6 o'clock in the morning.
6 o'clock? How did we get from 7 o'clock at night to 6 o'clock in the morning?
I don't know. Time just flew by, and by the time we knew it, it was 6 o'clock in the morning.
How old are you?
I'm 21 now.
What do you do?
I'm a customer service representative.
So you're employed?
Yes.
Thank God for small favors. What about you? Do you work?
Yes.
So before you know it, it got to be 6 o'clock in the morning. Where were you at 6 o'clock in the morning?
We were going to...
No, you, not we. You.
I was in the truck.
You were in the truck at 6 o'clock in the morning. Where was your son?
He was at home.
So you were in the truck at 6 o'clock in the morning, and how did Elaine get possession of the truck? Jessica?
Because we were going to stay the night at my parents' house, and...
The night was over at 6 o'clock in the morning. I know you have a trouble with that, but it's 6 o'clock in the morning. Now it's morning.
We were going to my parents' house, and they had asked to borrow the car to go to the store, and the store's just down the street from my parents' house, and I let them borrow it. Told them to come back, and...
They never came back?
They never came back.
Is that what happened?
That's what happened.
Well, when she got out of the truck, who got in the driver's seat?
I believe I did. Well, yeah. My understanding, let me put it that way. Because the night, it's a big blur to me. It really is.
Did you just say the night is a big blur to me?
Yes. I don't really remember a lot of what happened.
What about you, Andrew? Do you remember what happened?
A little bit of it.
Well, you want to stand up here and tell me what you remember.
After we used the truck, we went to my grandmother's work to pick up some money for gas.
What'd you need more gas for?
Because I was going to go pick up some clothes from my mom's house.
Okay, so you're on your way to your mom's house. You've dropped her off. Two of you who have a marginal recollection of what happened on that morning because you were both what?
Intoxicated.
What about her? Was she intoxicated?
Yes.
Is that right?
No, ma'am, I wasn't.
Had you been drinking?
A little bit.
The car was in how many accidents that morning?
2.
Tell me about them. Who's going to remember to tell me about them?
A car had backed up into us at APAC, and after that we had left because the police came. They let us go because it was on private property, and we were heading to my mom's house, and that's what happened when we wrecked.
Now slowly tell me what happened when you were going to your mom's house.
Well, when I was going to my mom's house, I went to under the mall where we parked cars. I went on the very bottom, and then there was
Who was driving?
Me.
Who was driving when the first accident happened?
I was.
What was she doing?
She couldn't drive. She was drunk. I was.
Well, what about you?
I wasn't as intoxicated as her, but I was just.
Yes, he was.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
You made a mistake, you had a baby. You visited that on your grandparents. And it would seem to me that what you're supposed to do is make their life as simple as possible, not more complicated.
And later today.
They're on little mini bikes and skateboards, and I've actually seen them blocking traffic.
Who does that?
My friends.
Is he one of your friends?
Yes, ma'am.
Who was out there that day?
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. 19-year-old Jessica Ortiz says during a night of heavy drinking, her cousin Elaine Palacios crashed her grandparents' truck. Elaine says Jessica should also be held responsible.
When she got out of the car, she was driving.
Yes.
So she loaned the car to Elaine.
Yes.
How did you get in a position to be in the driver's seat?
She had asked me to drive.
When? At what point?
A couple hours after we used the truck.
Well, weren't you supposed to go to the store and come right back?
Yes.
So why didn't you?
I don't know.
Sit down. All right, let's move on. This truck was impounded. The truck had a lot of damage. It's your position, Elaine.
Yes.
That it's her fault for letting you take the car because you were drunk.
Not fully, but I don't think that I should be held responsible for the whole damages to the truck alone.
Who should be?
I think that me, Jessica, and Andrew should be held responsible for it.
Well, she didn't sue Andrew.
Right.
So you would say that between the two of you, she's also responsible because she let you take the car knowing that you had been drinking.
Yes.
I agree with you. All right, Miss Garza, could you step up, please, and let me see the bills?
Yes, ma'am. You know, the insurance did pay us $5,000 on the truck. The truck in the blue book, it's worth $8,000 and some $100. Her mom did pay.
Shh, just a second. Okay, let me work out some numbers here. Do you still have the truck?
No, ma'am, the insurance took it.
And what you're telling me is the blue book value on the car was about $8,000. Is that what you're telling me?
Yes, ma'am.
Oh. Ms. Garza, I believe your granddaughter is partially responsible for what happened on that day. I believe she is at least 1/3 responsible, which means that Elaine here would be responsible for $2,000. Now, Elaine is perfectly capable of going to court and suing Andrew for half. I'm not dealing with that now. But your granddaughter exercised very poor judgment.
Yes, ma'am.
So the case is easy, but I have a couple of questions for Miss Attitude over here. How long had she been living with you with her 4-year-old son?
Since before the 4-year-old son. She's lived with me on and off all her life.
But there was a period of time she didn't live with you.
Right.
That's when she became pregnant?
Right.
When she became pregnant, she moved back in with you before he was born?
When he was about 3 months old.
Where was she living before that?
With her, the father of the baby. But my husband went and got her.
Does the father have anything to do with the child?
He sees him, but does not support him.
So you have two winners. You have two parents who don't support their child, the mother and the father.
Right.
And this one goes out and parties. Let me tell you something, Jessica. You better grow up. You made a mistake, you had a baby. You visited that on your grandparents, who at a time in their life are supposed to be just enjoying each other and relaxing, have been burdened with a responsibility because of your stupidity. And it would seem to me that what you're supposed to do is make their life as simple as possible, not more complicated. And going out at 7 o'clock at night and coming home 6 o'clock in the morning is not what a responsible mother does. Do I make myself clear? Perfect. Judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $2,000. That's all.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
I was going to pay for it, and when it came down to it, the plaintiff wasn't cooperative, so therefore we came here to Judge Judy.
The truck had the A-frame was damaged. There was no fixing it.
I feel bad because they always bring it up and throw it in my face.
We had to go pick it up, and there was whiskey bottles and beer bottles.
The police were involved twice, and actually the second time is when we actually got arrested.
They could have had an accident and gotten killed, or God only knows, kill somebody else.
And now the next case.
All parties in the matter of Pender versus Garrison, step forward, please.
Engineer David Pender is suing children's services worker Joan Garrison for the cost of medical bills. David claims Joan's poodle bit his 14-year-old son Edward while he was skateboarding.
Mr. Pender, which one of these two boys was bitten by the defendant's dog?
My son, Edward Pender.
All right, why don't you sit down? How old are you, Edward?
14.
Who were you out skateboarding with?
My friend Alex Berkemeyer, Mike, and my two friends, Ricky.
You always skateboard with them?
Yes, ma'am.
Were you skateboarding on the sidewalk or in the street?
Sidewalk.
How many of you were in the sidewalk?
One, just me.
Why were you on the sidewalk? Is not an answer.
It seemed like the right thing to do, Your Honor. It seemed
I
like
don't
the right
understand
thing
what you
to
mean.
do.
It seemed like the right thing to do. What were you doing on the sidewalk?
I was skateboarding.
Had you been in the street with your friends?
No, ma'am.
So what happened when you passed Mrs. Garrison, who was walking with her two dogs who were on leashes?
I have my skateboard if you would like me to demonstrate for you, Your Honor.
No, I wouldn't. I want you to use your words.
I was riding past her, and then I was swinging my left hand. And
How were you swinging your left hand?
Like this, moving it back and forth, and then her dog bit me whenever it was about at my hip, Your Honor.
Now, were you on a hill?
No, ma'am.
Now, when you were going down this street, did you see the defendant and her two dogs?
It was a while until I saw her.
How far away was she from where you were skateboarding?
About 5 feet, ma'am.
When you first saw her?
Yes, ma'am.
You mean she just appeared out of nowhere? Or you weren't looking?
I wasn't looking, ma'am.
And I assume that when you drive down the sidewalk on the skateboard, the reason you do this arm movement is to get more leverage, isn't that right?
Yes, ma'am.
So you can go
faster.
So you're going faster, and you're not looking where you're going, right?
Yes, ma'am.
And when you passed by Miss Garrison, how close did you come to her?
About 1 foot.
And she had how many dogs with her?
2.
How big were they?
Probably about this high.
So there's you going too fast, not looking where you're going on the skateboard, and Miss Garrison walking with her 2 standard-sized poodles?
Correct, Your Honor.
How wide is the sidewalk?
Probably about 3 feet.
That's not very wide. Now, if you had been looking where you were going and weren't going so fast, and if you had seen her walking with her 2 dogs that were on a leash, what would you have done?
Probably just kept on going, ma'am.
Well, that would have been very stupid of you, Mr. Pender. You think that you frightened her?
Yes, ma'am.
You have no right to do that. All right, Miss Garrison, now I'm finished with him. Temporarily.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Because we know what happened. Right, Mr. Pender?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, you've got your 2 standard poodles walking with them. They're on leashes. What do you see?
I was walking along the sidewalk, and actually I've seen this group of kids several times before in my neighborhood where I'm walking. They're on little mini bikes and skateboards, and they actually they aren't on the sidewalk, they're in the street, and they will stay in the street, and I've actually seen them blocking traffic. On this particular...
Who does that?
Not me, Your Honor.
Who?
My friends.
That's not nice. Is he one of your friends?
Yes, ma'am.
Who was out there that day?
No, ma'am.
Oh, he's just here just because he wants to come to court?
No, ma'am.
What's he here for?
He was there because he was the one that was helping me, trying to get her. Because she wouldn't stop whenever I was calling her.
Now listen to me, sir. Was he with you that day on his skateboard?
Yes, ma'am.
Well, it's either yes or no. 2 seconds ago it was no, now it's yes. So he was on his skateboard.
Yes, ma'am.
So he was one of the kids that, according to you, was in the street because you were the only one on the sidewalk.
Yes, ma'am.
So he's one of the people that she's talking about, according to you, that was in the street that day blocking traffic.
Yes, ma'am.
So I'm walking my dogs, and I see them coming down the hill, and this young man decided to leave the street and ride off, and I actually have pictures of the area. And you can't see, but he took a drive. He got out of the street through a driveway and basically rode his skateboard right into me.
Okay. So he was riding in the street with his friends?
Yes, he was.
No question in your mind?
No.
And then at some point, he went up through a driveway and decided to come down on the sidewalk.
Correct.
And he got bitten because your dog was frightened.
I didn't know what was happening. I was concerned. I've seen these kids before.
Got bitten on the hand? Where were you bitten?
On my left hand, Your Honor.
Your Honor, he showed me his elbow. And
I don't care whether he showed you his elbow or he showed you his hand. Whose fault was it?
Hers, Your Honor.
You're supposed to be smarter than a poodle. I am sure your father raised you in the hopes that you would be smarter than a poodle.
That's right.
So if you frightened her poodle because you were doing the wrong thing, that's your fault. The poodle wasn't chasing you down the street, was it?
No, ma'am.
Huh?
No, ma'am.
That's what happens when you do the wrong thing, Mr. Pender. You do the wrong thing, sometimes bad things happen to you. And you got bitten. Just because you got bitten doesn't mean it's her fault. You and I know exactly what happened that day.
That's right.
All right. Anything you want to say to me, sir?
No, ma'am.
Perfect. Case dismissed. That's all.
Parties are excused. You may step out. On the count.
Young man who had, I gather, been thrown out of your house when he was 18. Is that a fair statement?
Correct.
And I assume that he was told to leave his parents' home because he wasn't behaving appropriately.
Correct.
What was the nature of his social transgression?
Just too much partying, problems in school.
Did he have problems with drinking?
Yes.
Did he have problems with drugs?
Pot, yes.
And you thought it could better be handled in somebody else's home?
I've had a wife and a daughter there also. It was just time for him to leave.
When did he leave your house?
3 days after his 18th birthday.
Which was when?
February 10th.
Of 2007. How did you find Mrs. Keogh's house?
I went to school with her son, Blake Keogh.
Did you party with him?
Yeah, quite frequently.
You drink?
I'm not Blake.
Who are you?
I'm Parker.
You're another son?
Yes.
How old are you?
16.
Where's your older brother?
At home.
At home?
Yes.
Did he have problems with drugs or alcohol, Mrs. Keogh?
I would say no, not to my knowledge.
Well, if he didn't have problems with drugs and alcohol, why in the world would you take in a boy who did have problems with drugs and alcohol?
Well, at the time I met Daniel, I didn't know that he had problems with drugs or alcohol.
Didn't it strike you as odd that he was asked to leave his own home when he was 18?
Actually, he had been living with someone else. It wasn't right directly after he came out. He had lived with someone else.
Yes or no? It doesn't make a difference whether he had an interim place that makes it even worse. So he was thrown out of his own house when he was 18. Then he went and lived someplace else. That didn't work out. What I want to know is, didn't it occur to you to call his father and say, what's with your 18-year-old?
Actually, at the time, no, because Daniel had made lots of comments about his father that were probably not the nicest of comments, so I didn't see any reason to...
And you believed him?
Yeah, I did. I'm sorry. I did.
In any event, this is what your case is about, Ms. Keogh. You want $5,000 because you say that this young man, while he was drunk, took a golf cart that belonged to you, crashed it, damaged it severely, was taken to a repair shop. The repairs were $4,000. This young man did, in fact, pay towards those repairs how much?
$1,500.
And then he stopped paying. His father says, and he says, that you allowed alcohol to be served in your home. That's one of the reasons he was drunk when he got the golf cart, that you should have at least partial responsibility for serving alcohol or allowing alcohol to be served to minors who are living in your household, even if they are paying tenants. Mr. Rogers says you should be partially responsible yourself. What I don't understand, let's get to this part. What's your first name?
Daniel.
Let's say, Daniel, that you think Mrs. Keogh should be partially responsible,
Yeah.
and that the cost to fix the golf cart was $4,000. Why did you only pay $1,500?
I was trying to pay it back. I kept on paying it back, but then they finished the repairs on the golf cart, and then he said that they wanted all the money right then and there. So I went and I applied for a credit card or whatever just to pay off the rest of the fee. It was like another $3,000 for the remaining balance. And so I didn't get approved right now the way the economy is, me being 19. And so they put a mechanic's lien on it and they sold it. So therefore,
They didn't sell it.
Well, that's what they told me, and they refused to accept payments.
They refused to accept any more money.
Yeah, my $100 payment a week, $400 a month. I only make $10 an hour, so.
And you were, in fact, paying.
Yeah, every week.
And it was your intention to pay the entire repair bill.
Yes, it was, originally.
Oh, well, so then I don't quite understand your answer. If it was your intention to continue to pay the other $3,000 because you felt responsible, correct?
Yeah, correct.
What changed your mind?
Well, they sold the golf cart. Well, they told me they're selling it, so I called Sherry and I asked her if I could pay her the $100 a week, just start over, and she refused, and then I got served. So that's what I'm doing here.
Oh, I see. Well, that changes the whole defense. You're ready to pay the money to get
well,
the
no,
golf cart.
not necessarily anymore after going through all this.
But that's what you promised her.
Yeah,
Is that right,
originally.
Mr. Rogers? You told her you would pay for it.
Originally.
Yeah. Well, that was your agreement. And the only reason you didn't pay her is because you didn't get approved for a credit card.
Yeah, well, no, I called her and asked her if I could pay the $100 a week to her, $400 a month out of my check every week, and she refused.
Why did you refuse?
I couldn't not pay the $100 to the golf cart company. They refused to take any more money except for a total amount. And I felt that if I was to accept the money from Daniel, I would not be able to get my golf cart back. So that's...
Can I speak?
What do you have to do with this?
I was the one who came upon the golf cart. It was partially my golf cart.
It
That's
can't
what
be partially
I
your
drove
golf
around.
cart. A year ago, you were 15 years old.
That's what I drove around. We live in a gated community.
And?
And kids drive those around quite often. That's what they use. And I golf and stuff. When Randy and Daniel were the ones talking to the golf cart repair company, making all the payments, and they had agreed that they were going to make payments up until when the golf cart was done and finished. And then at that point, if the full amount had not been paid, his dad would pay in full, and he would have Daniel pay him back.
So?
No, never agreed to that.
So? Who did the father make that agreement with?
He made that agreement with the owner of Prestige.
You can't tell me that. That person isn't here. That's hearsay.
Okay. It's hearsay, but there's a statement.
I don't read statements.
Fine.
We're in a court.
Fine.
We're in a court. How much is owed on the golf cart?
The total to replace the golf cart right
I'm
now...
not replacing the golf cart. Did Daniel get beer in your house, Mrs. Keogh?
Not to my knowledge, ma'am. I did not hand Daniel ever
I didn't
any
ask
beer.
you whether you handed
I
Daniel
had
anything.
beer in my home in my refrigerator.
Okay. You say there's a vending machine, Daniel?
Yes.
So explain to me the vending machine.
There's a vending machine downstairs full of beer, 4 different 30-packs.
And what was the vending machine for, Miss Keogh?
It is an antique vending machine, ma'am.
Was it full of beer?
Not full of beer. It had 2 beers, it had tons of sodas, and it had all kinds of snacks and candy.
It had beer in it?
Yes, it did.
All right. And who was the beer for?
My guests who come to my house. I live on a lake, and they come in through the bottom. And
But it was available, and it was clearly the beer that he drank and got drunk when he drove your golf cart.
That's not true. He wasn't in my house at all that day drinking. He was
Where
on
were
a
you
pontoon
drinking?
boat with somebody else.
Where were you
I
drinking?
was on a pontoon boat in the lake, yeah.
Where'd you get the beer from?
Well, I got some from the vending machine, and I had some that I just had obtained with somebody that's
What does that mean? Are you giving me the business? Don't
No,
give
I'm
me
not
the
giving you
business.
the business.
I don't like stupid, and I don't like the business. Do you understand?
Yes.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Cheryl Kehoe says her son's former friend, Daniel Rogers, stole her golf cart and crashed it.
You were on a pontoon boat. Where did you get the beer from?
The vending machine.
I don't believe you.
No, I got it from the vending machine.
I don't believe you.
I did.
No, I don't believe you. Where's the other place you got the beer from?
I just had it.
What do you mean you just had it?
I don't really recall it that much. I was a little inebriated.
You got where I'm going?
Yeah.
Perfect. There's a mechanic's lien. There's a mechanic's lien.
There was a mechanic's lien.
What do you
put
mean
on.
there was?
I was told that there was a mechanic's lien being put on the golf cart. I didn't receive an actual piece of paper because Prestige said that since it's not a registered DMV vehicle.
Don't tell me what they said.
Okay, I'm sorry.
As far as I have in these papers, there's been no sale of this golf cart. And I'm not replacing a golf cart for you.
No.
You understand that?
No, I
That's
have.
not happening.
I have
the sale value that they will sell us the golf cart for right now is $4,840.
It's not happening. The remainder that's owed to fix the golf cart. To fix the golf cart is how much after he paid his $1,500?
I don't know, because they start charging $15 a day storage fees.
Then you can contest that. And I suggest you do it. What I want to know is how much is left and owing on fixing the golf cart?
$28.48.88.
$28.48.88?
Yes.
Judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $3,000.
Your Honor, I have something here that I'd like you to see. That's from Mr. Rogers. He said that he never said that he would pay for it. He has a signed card.
He is going to pay for it, madam.
I'm just saying.
He is going to pay for it, $3,000.
But I can't get my golf cart back for that.
I'm speaking.
I'm sorry, ma'am.
And in the event that Prestige Motorsport and Golf Cart declines to take this check, which will be made payable to them, not to you, which will be made payable to them, you have leave to come back to me. Do you understand?
Okay, so I take the check to them, and if they will not accept it,
and if they will not accept it, I would suggest to you that you get that in writing from them. If they decline to accept this from you, and then sue them for the return of your golf cart because they've been paid $4,500. I'll be delighted to hear the case. Do you understand? Okay.
Yes,
Thank you. That's all.
Thank you. Excused. You may step out.
They aren't being accountable for any of the injuries that he did get.
They stopped paying. They wouldn't pay the bulk amount of the fee.
There's a lot of shared responsibility in that, but they don't see it that way.
I didn't have the money to pay the bulk amount to get the golf cart out.
You know, they smoke pot there, they drink.
I think it's ridiculous what their accusations are.
It's not a good environment to have kids around.
And now the next case.
All parties in the matter of Peterson and Peterson versus Larwell and Peterson. Step forward.
Cindy Peterson and her son Greg are suing Greg's brother, Randy Peterson, and his fiancée, 18-year-old Amanda Larwell, for damage to their home as the result of domestic violence.
Mrs. Peterson, this is one of your sons whose name is?
Greg.
And you and Greg live together?
Yes, we do.
And this is your other son?
Yes, it is.
Whose name is?
Randy.
And that's your girlfriend?
Fiance.
Fiance. According to your complaint, Mrs. Peterson, your son Randy and his girlfriend moved in with you when you found out that you were pregnant. And it is your claim that the two of them, because of constant arguing between them and also with your other son, with Greg, caused damage to the apartment.
It's a house, yes,
Or at the house. They both deny that they caused any damage, and Miss Larwell is counterclaiming because she says that Greg, after the last argument, lost his temper and damaged her car by hitting it with his fists. That's your counterclaim.
Correct.
Who is this?
My mom.
Why didn't you move in with your mother?
I wasn't really living with my parents at the time.
Who were you living with?
I was living with friends.
How old are you?
18.
How long have you been living with friends?
For a few months, just after high school.
Why?
Because I wanted to be out on my own.
You wanted to be on your own to do what?
I just was ready to be independent.
You got dependent very quickly.
Accidents happen.
Tell me about the damage that they caused to the house. First, when did she move in?
Amanda moved in approximately January to February of 2008. Immediately after that, it was very tense, arguing. The day that we asked Amanda to leave the home, Randy opened the door in anger in leaving and put 2 holes in a wall. And also at the same time, when I was confronting them about it, I noticed a burn in the carpet in the room that they shared. I have an estimate from someone who was going to fix the property damage, but we ended up moving out before it was fixed.
When did you move out?
We moved out July 10th.
How much of a deposit did you leave the landlord?
$1,200 deposit.
Did you give the landlord notice pursuant to the lease, 30 days notice that you were moving out?
No, we were actually in the middle of being evicted.
Evicted for what?
For non-payment of the rent for 1 month. We had the rent, but she would not accept it.
Ms. Peterson, I'm dismissing your claim for damage to the house. Fast, because right now you have no damage. Right now, you were in breach of your lease that had absolutely nothing to do with the alleged damage that they did. I don't even have to hear that part of their explanation of whether they caused damage or not. You were being evicted. You hadn't paid rent.
Your Honor, we were only 3 weeks. We were 2 weeks behind on
I don't
rent.
care. I don't care whether you're 2 weeks behind or 3 weeks behind. You were evicted. You were required to give 30 days notice. You didn't do it. They were going to withhold your security deposit anyway. You have a statement from the landlord?
No, we cannot get a hold of her.
What do you want me to do? You think that I believe this baloney? You moved out. You lived off your security. You failed to give 30 days notice. Even if the landlord had been unsuccessful with regard to evicting you, you still have been responsible for 30 days notice. How much was your rent?
$1,160.
Your case is dismissed. Now let's get to your counterclaim. Nonsense.
Your Honor, we're still responsible for the damage. It's still
When the landlord comes and sues you for the damage, you can come back. How about that?
Okay.
Fine. Landlord's not coming after you. The landlord took your security deposit for many reasons. A, because you didn't pay your rent for the last month that you lived there. And B, maybe because of this damage. But it all amounts to the same thing. Nonsense. You want to take the money and put it in your own pocket. I'm not going to do that.
No.
Now, there was an argument on May 19th. What was the argument about?
Him getting a job to start supporting our family.
Who was the argument between?
Me and him.
Why weren't you working?
I just didn't choose to work at the time.
Because they let him be lazy. And I wanted him to start being responsible because he's going to be a father. And that's what the argument was about, and that's when they butt in.
You were arguing with him and shouting to him that he better get a job.
Just that he better...
More than one part of his anatomy has to work. Right? How old are you?
19.
When was the last time you worked?
Never.
Why not?
Didn't have to, I guess.
His mom didn't push him.
No, that's not his mother's fault. It's not his mother's fault. Comes to the point you have to stop blaming your mother. Okay, so now bad argument. They left the house.
For trying to.
The allegation is, Greg, that you were very angry and you went outside and you punched her car.
Yes, I did, but not just that. It was the arguing that had been going on all day, yes.
I don't care about the arguing all day.
And then they went to leave. They were on their leaving, and he jumped out of the car, ran up to my mom's car, a borrowed car, kicked it, and then I kicked their car.
So he kicked the car, and in retaliation, you went and kicked his car.
Mm-hmm.
You have to fix his car. He may have to fix your mother's friend's car. I don't know about that. Mother's friend
Your
isn't
Honor,
here.
The police were called, and they said to settle that civilly.
That's what we're here for.
I have the police report.
This is civil court. That's what we're here for. I don't know what you're smiling about. You made lots of bad choices, Miss Larwell. What kind of car do you have?
A Kia Rio.
What year?
2005.
Where did you get it from?
It's my mother's.
It's your car. Did you buy it for her, or did you buy it?
No, it was my car, but when I was in another town being pregnant, I wanted her to have a way to get around, so I let her use it. And we have pictures of the damage.
And I have a police report in the estimate.
Just let me see the pictures of the damage and the estimate. He has to pay for kicking the car. You must have a very high kick.
He was trying to break the window, and...
That's not from a kick, that's from a...
He punched it.
He was punching and kicking. He was on a rage.
Greg!
I was protecting my mother because my brother was after my mom's car. I thought he was, who knows what he could have done at that point in time.
You were protecting your mother?
And her property.
Where was your mother?
I was at the door. We have text messages on here where she has threatened us.
I don't care. Listen, your mother wasn't in the car, was she?
No, but she was standing next to it.
So what did you punch the car for?
For them punching my mother's car.
Oh, you're an idiot.
We were
This is a family that should think twice about having a lot of children. Listen! That's ridiculous. When did you get a job?
And
दिल दिया सोनिया जानिया कोई गड्डियां वे रुक गईया दिल दिया सोनिया जानिया कोई गड्डियां वे रुक गईया हुण तेरे मिलण दिया सब आस वे मुक गईया हुण तेरे मिलण दिया सब आस वे मुक गईया दिल दिया सोनिया जानिया हुण रात नूं नी सोंदे दिल दिया सोनिया जानिया हुण रात नूं नी सोंदे तेरे कोलों वक्त हो के हुण लुक लुक रोंदे तेरे कोलों वक्त हो के हुण लुक लुक रोंदे जाके मेरी शकना दी मेरे जिगर दा खून कीता जाके मेरी शकना दी मेरे जिगर दा खून कीता दिल दिया सोने जानिया क्यों साढ़े नाल दगावे कीता दिल दिया सोने जानिया क्यों साढ़े नाल दगावे कीता पुछ दिल जख्मी कोलू तेनू किस जुदा कीता पुछ दिल जख्मी कोलू तेनू किस जुदा कीता दिल दिया सोने जानिया छोड़ा नहीं से सकता सी दिल दिया सोने जानिया छोड़ा नहीं से सकता सी तेरे कोलू दूर होके कदे रह नहीं हो सकता सी तेरे कोलू दूर होके कदे रह नहीं हो सकता सी दिल दिया सोने जानिया एव छोड़ वे पै गेनी दिल दिया सोने जानिया एव छोड़ वे पै गेनी हो तेरे नाल जीने दे अरमान ही रह गेनी तेरे नाल जीने दे अरमान ही रह गेनी दिल दिया सोने जानिया किस्सा ही मुका सटिया दिल दिया सोने जानिया किस्सा ही मुका सटिया वो चंगे भले वसदे सा तकदीर रुला सटिया चंगे भले वसदे सा तकदीर रुला सटिया दिल दिया सोने जानिया किस्मत दे खेल होंदे दिल दिया सोने जानिया किस्मत दे खेल होंदे जिन्ना सच्चा प्यार होंदा नहीं दुनिया ते मेल होंदे जिन्ना सच्चा प्यार होंदा नहीं दुनिया ते मेल होंदे दिल दिया सोने जानिया कुछ गल्लू मजबूर होंदे दिल दिया सोने जानिया कुछ गल्लू मजबूर होंदे सुखी नहीं जावेद वेखे जड़े सज्जना तू दूर होंदे सुखी नहीं जावेद वेखे जड़े सज्जना तू दूर होंदे वाला तू जड़िए चिट्टी चादर ढीला दे उठे आते वाला को जड़िए कोई सोने की माया कोई दिले उते दिले रखी के दिले उते दिले रखी के तू ठोक दे की माया दिले उते दिले रखी के तू ठोक दे की माया वाला को जाड़िए गाने फूला दी कबीरों में ओ अखियाँ ते ओ रखिए पावे यारी गरीबों में अखियाँ ते ओ रखिए पावे यारी गरीबों में पानी रब देसी परदेस ना जाया रोजी पानी रब देसी परदेस ना जाया वाला को जड़िए मेरे फूला वाली चौकी है यारी ते जगलावे यारी बादनी वे ओकी है यारी ते जगलावे यारी बादनी वे ओकी है जी जाने माड़िए जी जाने कल कूतर दोई काने माड़िए जी जाने कल कूतर दोई काने जीव जन दोई जीवा जीव जन दोई जीवा मर जामत दोई नाले माड़िए जी जाने मर जामत दोई नाले जी जाने कल कबूतर लाबाजी माड़िए वे जी जाने कल कबूतर लाबाजी जिन पिछे असी उछड़े जिन पिछे असी उछड़े अज बोल के नहीं राजी माड़िए वे जी जाने अज बोल के नहीं राजी जी जाने हर पासे खोट जना माड़िए जी जाने हर पासे खोट जना नायो मोहब्बत रिया नायो मोहब्बत रिया ना पहले जनोक जना माड़िए जी जाने ना पहले जनोक जना जी जाने बंगा बिकन बाजार आया सामने खद माया अख करण दीदार आया माड़िए वे जी जाने अख करण दीदार आया जी जाने कश्मीरी वादिए माड़िए जी जाने कश्मीर दिवादिए दिल बर्दाश्त करी सोना जुल्म दया दिए माड़िए जी जाने सोना जुल्म दया दिए निका हसदे हो तुसी निका हसदे हो तुसी निका हसदे हो तुसी निका हसदे